We can't.
Alrighty. So,
That's one.
in last week's chapter of the Arcane Archives, the collective, after retrieving Alar, who had been attacked by the Goliath, or Vovek the Bestowed, as was recently discovered, ported back over to Zio's home of Uthran. Upon entering, the party or the collective did not know how opulent this home would be, and through many long-winded but very needed descriptions, the party realized how deep the wealth of the Vunra family went, noting that they had multiple dining halls, ballrooms, wine cellars that didn't even hold Vunra wine, multiple libraries, and butlers upon butlers attending to any need or want of the collective. The Vunra family surprised... Yeah, butlers on top of butlers. The Vunra family surprised of Zio's return and seeing the collective for the first time, prompting them to all get cleaned up. Their armor restored, polished, their weapons sharpened, a bath to be had for the first time in months, and just lavishry, that's the word, lavishry, shared upon the collective. After a short tour of part of the Vunra estate, the collective all had dinner with Lune and Zumarin Vunra, Zio's parents, shortly joined after by Kane, where the collective discussed how they wanted to have a meeting with the Council of Uthran, as well as a seat with, or a discussion with Grand Duke Emerson Rutherford. And they wanted to state their case, discuss what has been happening, the Bureau twisting the anvil behind the scenes, and ultimately uncovering and hopefully permanently stopping this impending war. Zio's mother informing Zio that he would not be part of the Vunra estate during these meetings, and that she would be impartial depending on what they had to say. With that in mind, the collective took a carriage ride through the city, noting large buildings and sections of the city, as well as getting a good first look at the ocean for the first time in some time. About 2 months. As they entered the royal hall where this council meeting would happen, as Zumarin gave his son a hug and said good luck, as you all entered, you noticed that there were colorful characters around. Among them, Lune and Bryas, Cornelio, that you've met before. But 3 new ones, one being a Tortle of the House of the Artisans Guild, a half-orc being from the Artists Guild, and a Merchants Guild leader. As they all took their seats and you saw Grand Duke Emerson Rutherford at the head of the chambers with many different what seemed to be royal members in so-called bleachers in this hall. As you all step up, that is where we will pick up the session. As you all step forward, you see at a larger kind of curved horseshoe or half circle table to the left of to your left is a gnome with a large inkwell and a large quill with papers and papers, as he is sitting there waiting very patiently for something to be said. So as you all step up, before you are actually greeted by the council, what would you like to do? Final words said between each other.
Who is the one that's gonna talk the most?
Well,
I think that Zio should do the opening statements, but that is just me. I'll be happy to piggyback on this.
I think that's a
go
good
ahead.
idea.
I don't want to, I'm gonna sound like a dick for a second, but Cthulhu, with your past with authority figures and higher ups, just mind what you say. Really, like if you're think about what you're gonna say, then think again, then go to say it, but then think one more time, and then say it.
I've got to think before you speak. This is wisdom.
I just want you to be. This is a point where we could really hurt a lot of things. So that is why I'm being
It really
extra.
is.
So-
OOC, it really is.
Yeah, OOC moment. If one of us fuck up, we're all dead.
So many people die.
They would have been in
Um,
peace, but they screwed the pooch.
I like my kneecaps.
I think they are very fine kneecaps, yes. I don't understand idiom.
All four
Aside
of
from
them.
kneecaps, I think the biggest thing is that whoever ends up speaking, just keep in mind that our job here is to be messengers and nothing more.
Right. Yes. Well, before we go,
Are we standing in the council room right now in front of them, or like kind of like before?
There is a large circle that has that giant compass rose that I described, and you are on the stairs leading up to that. It's like 3 small stairs to get up onto that platform. Zio, you would know because you've seen it before that there normally would be a table with chairs and stuff for the presenters or the parties to sit at, but since it is 6 of you standing here, they have not had those. You can actually see them placed to the sides of the hall,
You guys stand.
Okay.
as well
Do I know,
as
like, how
formalities
many-
with, doing the bows?
Yes, I will do a brief
Follow your
introduction.
lead.
And yes, just follow my lead.
Is it a little too extra to maybe kneel?
Just bow.
Okay.
Yeah, I suppose we should follow Zio's lead with the formalities. But I am ready if you all are.
And if we screw up, we will blame him.
We
No
can-
pressure.
Should we save now? That way, if we fuck this up, we can road back to old save.
Is there a checkpoint? Is that was the door the checkpoint?
quick save. Quick save.
Quick save.
Yeah, DM, we quick save.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
got it. All right, if they fuck this up tonight, I redo it. All right.
Actually, I go rogue. I turn autosave off.
I just picture
Hardcore mode.
Cthulhu standing there and you saying, "We cannot redo this." And then, alrighty. So, as you all as you all following Zio's motion, walk to the center of this large compass rose platform. Zio, you step forward as you give a nice and gracious, courteous bow, as do all of you follow.
Yes.
Alrighty.
Yes.
As all of you take the
Saw that
same
smile.
bow. I bend backwards, actually. Actually, that would be sweet.
I do back.
Instead of bowing forward. Yeah!
That's
Alrighty.
the worm.
So, as you all follow suit,
Dude, just the work.
I want a nation. There's a nation in the
We all
woods
do the
now
worm.
that instead of
We all
bowing,
do it.
everyone does the worm.
Mr. President, Madam President. It's actually the drow culture.
That's the drow culture. That's why he was so,
Now.
yeah, that's why he was so Zoomerin was so weird because he couldn't do the worm.
Yeah.
Doing a
Alrighty.
spider impression.
Sorry, that was pretty much my fault. So as you walk to the center and you all follow Zio's cordial graces, as a gentleman, not one of the 5 houses, speaks off to the side as he walks forward and he has a slab with some papers on it. As he, please all of you state your case after your names are presented to the council and the Grand Duke.
I will take a step forward and say, Lords and ladies of Uthran, Grand Duke Rutherford, we are the collective, and I myself am Zio Vunra. And I'll take another bow, and I'll step back.
I will step forward quickly and I will bow. I will say, I am Urodin.
Okay.
And
Whomever's next.
I step back.
I'll step forward.
Quick, everyone fire your arrows.
Nick, you're muted.
I need a pen, sorry.
I'll step forward and I'll do a deep bow and I'll look up.
Lords and ladies of Uthran, I am Ecclesius Alamarius. Thank you for gracing us with your presence and giving us your time.
And I'll kind of bow.
And slide and moonwalk back.
Slide, moonwalk back, yeah.
Alright.
T-pose away.
I just think of like sneaker squeaks on the floor.
I go up next. Lords and ladies, my name is Cthulhu Smith, follower of Fortis, and I bow and I get back up.
Okay.
Walk back.
I would walk forward. Grand Duke Rutherford, bow, and then my lords and ladies, and bow to each of them. My name is Alar, the Battleborn of the Northern Clan. Thank you.
And then I will step forward and I will bow as well, and I will say, Lords, ladies, Grand Duke Rutherford, we appreciate you taking the time to assemble the council and meet with us.
As you take your steps back, you would all kind of, nervously looking around, not trying to like make eye contact with one person. And most of you probably averting your gaze directly for a long period of time with Rutherford. You notice that they have a court typographer, as that little halfling is just...
Stenographer, you mean?
Yes, typographer.
He's just drawing a map of somewhere that's not here.
Yeah.
What is he doing here?
I'm gonna look over towards the artist
map.
guild of, the half orc and see what she's reacting like.
Pretty normal. All of them are sitting very upright and presentable, even though that they are not wearing their normal attire, because I mentioned last week how quickly this was adjourned, so they're not wearing their full presented political outwear. But they are still, sat upright. You notice Alune is her arms are resting on the arms of the chair, and her hands are in front of her. Atticus Bell, who is again in the red overcoat, black coiffed hair, and a very strong jaw. He's leaning to the side with his hand more like this as he's looking at all of you. You see Brias, who is kind of leaning back onto one side. The Tortle, who would be from House Akir. His whole form is kind of just taken up in the chair. He has a cane that's extended to the floor as his feet are kind of dangling off the end of the chair as he has his chin. And then the half-orc from House Sobrick is sitting there similarly to Alune, with her legs crossed over, or her leg crossed over the other.
I know it's been a while since I have seen the Grand Duke, but how is his demeanor like? I kind of want to be like blink once if you're being held hostage type thing. I just want to like see, does he look like
same type
he's
of
being
demeanor?
threatened, or...
No, not even in
Okay.
any sense. No, he definitely looks like he is commanding the room. Even from up top there. He is sitting in his chair, a little bit slunk down, but very intent on all of you, not averting gaze.
But I kind of... This actually might be hard. I want to know if there's anyone in particular being, like, hawk-eyed. Like, is Cornelio Hawkeyeing one of us.
You mean are you them?
Sure, make a perception check. Unless you're really going to try to study each person.
No, I'll focus on Cornelio.
Okay.
Is there audience?
He's on the council.
No, I mean like sometimes there'll be different house like nobles like
There is an audience. Yeah, remember
watching.
the bleachers that are up top behind. So there's a semicircle
So
of the five nobles, and then up on a higher platform is the Grand Duke, and then to the left and right of the Grand Duke are bleachers of what you would assume to be lesser noblemen.
Okay.
Is it like full?
Probably about
moderate?
3/4.
Alrighty.
Did you say perception?
Yes.
Or...
Perception.
Okay, it would 16.
16. You would note that, kind of looking over, you would notice that it's hard not having you guys know their first names, but House Sobrick, she is looking, she's not intensely staring daggers at you and Cthulhu, but she is taking note of you. She is looking to each person as they speak, but is noticing you two a little bit longer. After the introductions, that kind of breaks off, and you don't notice that anymore. And then the Cornelio has a small smirk on his face that fades after your introductions, but is very intently dug into all of you.
Okay.
And you would notice after your introduction was done, you wouldn't notice it when you were introducing yourself, but you would notice that the Grand Duke is whoever is speaking, that is who his eyes are trained on.
I'll look to Zio kind of like
Let's get this going.
As you do so, you hear a gentleman clear his throat as Atticus Bell stands up as he goes, "So, Lune, they were brought here on your discretion and your implore. Do they speak for House Vunra then?" And Lune stands, and she looks and turns to the Grand Duke and then to the rest. "Let it be known that no one from this group, known as, from here on out, the Collective, is speaking for any interest on the Vunra family, and even Lord Zio Vunra should not be taken as such." And she sits back down, and Lord Bell, "Thank you. So, the Collective, as you shall be named, this was a very impromptu and quickly called meeting. What is the nature of this meeting?" As he stays standing.
I look at Zio.
I look at Zio.
I look down at Zio actually, but you get what I mean.
I'm just going to look back at you, Ecclesias, and kind of wave my hand towards the front and nod my head.
I just picture an alternate universe, or maybe this universe, where Ecclesias doesn't want to talk, and you're like, "There's the bus, get under it."
I'll nod to Zio, and I will put my hands in my sleeves, like almost like Varys from GIT, and I will walk forward and
Duke Rutherford, lords and ladies, we present nothing more tonight than information regarding a few nefarious groups of people that might undermine the peace between Celeria and the great kingdom of Uthran.
And as you finish that sentence, Atticus speaks. "And what do you presume, or what right would you have to be presenting this information to the kingdom of Uthran?"
The right that we have was not taken, but more bestowed by the people along our travels that confided in us their information and secrets.
I'll kind of look around at the group real quick, and not nervously, but just like, here we go.
As you go to speak, Atticus, "We will get to the explanation. We need to get some information out of the way first." As he looks to the group, and he looks back. To any of your knowledge, are you here on the behest of any other guild, head of house, royalty, or powers at be?
Where we all each individually have fealty. For instance, I do not represent the Esoteric Assembly. I am merely a part of it. As well as Cthulhu is a follower of Voltus, but is not here on behalf of Voltus. We all have our individual communities, but this serendipity has brought us together for a singular purpose, and to unite peace between these two kingdoms. And we have good reason to believe there are shadowy groups that wish to tear the peace of Falbian apart.
You hear, yes, Eddie?
I was gonna pull Zio. Actually, no, never mind. I changed my mind. I keep my mouth shut.
As the half-orc stands, and she goes, now, this impending conflict that you've mentioned between our kingdom and another's, this is the first we're hearing of any of you. Does this mean that you are, in essence, emissaries of said foreign territory?
We are not emissaries. We are, in a sense, unofficial diplomats with the only mission of peace for both kingdoms. Where our journey began in Celeria, it now takes us to Uthran. But as I've said before, it is not as if we represent Celeria, the kingdom. We are a group in between this conflict, and our journey has taken us to places that have revealed things that I think the kingdom of Celeria, and with your information now, we know you are without. We are merely here to present this to you, so we can go forward with the most peaceful, diplomatic way.
We are a collective of unique backgrounds, adventuring across the lands, trying to do good where we see fit. And we believe that being here, notifying you of these dangers, is for the betterment of the people, of everywhere, of this continent.
The half-orc lady sits back down. Belle walks over to Alune and whispers something in her ear as he walks back and sits down. Alune stands up. This information that you are about to bring before the council and the Grand Duke himself, how long has it taken you to acquire, and under what means have you acquired it?
To be as succinct as possible to respect the time of the council, we, through our own volition, were tracking down a certain individual we believed to be linked with the Bureau. As we gave pursuit led us to the town of Thraeus.
And I'll kind of bat my eyes over to Brius, with just kind of looking at him to see if he kind of reacts in any sort of way.
You can see he doesn't react too stoically, but he gives you a little bit of his eyes squint a little and come back.
Can I ask, for context, like, why did you look at Brius?
Brius.
Because you guys...
Brius.
Yeah, Brius, yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Brius, sorry.
And as we were in Thraeus, looking to track down this Goliath, we were intercepted by a fellow member of the Bureau by the name of Cinder, who told us flat out that the plans of the Bureau was to incite war, but that the person that we pursued was rogue and not a part of this group any longer. This information has led us to Uthran to, yes, not only visit our good friend Zio's home, but to deliver this message to the Council of Uthran so that war could potentially be avoided.
Atticus sits down, or Lune sits down, and Brias stands up to speak. Lord Vunra, what fealty and connection brought you to this group? Sorry, that is not his voice. What fealty did the connection between you and the collective bring together? How long have you been traveling together, and why do you travel with them?
DM, can I get a rough estimate
Answer.
of months?
Line.
Line.
Better part of a year.
Better part of a year.
That you've been with them?
The collective, correct? Yes.
Oh, you're on sink or swim on that one. You should know that.
Yeah,
A few months.
I want to say about. I thought it would be a little bit longer than that.
Probably about 4 or 5 months. 2 months to get from Freyas to where you are now. And then everything else that's happened from there.
Was a few.
And about 30 years from the ghost.
Yeah, so 30 years and 3 months. 5 months.
Chronological time, not magical.
Well, I will reply. I have been traveling with the collective for around 4 months, give or take. I decided to leave home and see the world. And in my travels, very early on in my travels, I have met this group. And together we have laughed, we have lost, and our trust has grown strong between us. So my fealty is to this group, but our information is good.
Brias also speaks and turns to the Grand Duke, almost fully away from all of you. Let the record also show. God, I keep going to. Let the record also show that when I was in Freyas for the escapades that have been dealt with, these group members known as the Collective were the ones to free me from my entanglements and have me return home. As he turns back, and most of the council, they nod and take mental note of that as he sits back down.
What's the look on their faces when he's saying that?
Some of them look over to you, all look to him, and they mostly all have, they're not taken back or shocked, but they all have a I will remember that kind of look, or I need to
Up in
remember
the top
that.
corner.
Yeah, they will remember
Council
that.
will remember that.
Yeah, this action will have consequences.
Yeah.
That actually
Shit.
was Cornelius who said that, right?
Cornelio, yes.
Yes.
He sits down, and Atticus stands back up. Well, I think that we are satiated enough. Collective, you have the floor. Please freely speak. As he sits back down.
I look back to the group to see if anybody else wants to speak. Kind of metally, out of character asking. And then Ecclesias not seeing anybody really.
I'll
I'll turn back to the council.
June?
I'll step up next to Ecclesias and address the council. We have simply come here, as Ecclesias stated, as messengers. We want all parties involved to know the knowledge that we have acquired. We have found out that the organization that Ecclesias spoke of earlier, that goes by the Bureau, their main objective is to incite war amongst the nations, primarily Uthran and Celeria. I'm not sure the motives behind or what they have to gain from inciting conflict. but we are here as messengers to let you know that there are other parties at work here that are attempting to break the peace that has been standing for so long.
You see the half-orc of House Sobrick stand at this point, and not trying to barrel over you, but does interrupt your wording. What evidence... Nope. God. Alright, Anthony. we got it. We got it from here on out. What evidence do you present, other than conversations had or information gained, in terms of the Bureau?
Reload.
So I step up and I'll say, milady, we have merely words confirmed by the charge we were after at that point. He confessed his plot against the lands, and that is what we are presenting.
I think we do have evidence. One possibly former member of the Bureau for being too radical and being too aggressive even for that organization. We have found helping incite conflict across the land. In fact, it was this individual who we have been pursuing and who led us to Freyas, a Goliath who goes by the name of
Volvac.
Volvac the Bestowed.
That was a good music hit. She sits back down, waiting for you to continue, June.
As far as physical evidence, we don't have much to offer. Like I said, we came here because and I'm going to turn to everybody, we want to keep peace. We want to prevent potential conflict, potential war, potential destruction, damage. We wanted to bring this to your attention. We're not necessarily asking for any action. We're not necessarily asking for anything at all, really. We just wanted the leadership of Uthran to know that there are other parties at play with ill intentions.
Bryce stands up. Now you say there are other parties, plural, more than one. What would these other groups be? You have only spoken of the Bureau.
He shoots June a look.
We have limited information as far as the other groups that are part of what we know as the Paul Syndicate.
They all kind of look around. That name kind of... Some of them inquisitive, like that name doesn't ring a bell, and some of them kind of like wide-eyed hearing the name.
Was the I would be kind of looking at the half-orc the whole time.
She'd kind of be...
Like I said, our information as far as other parties is limited. The one that we know the most about is the Bureau. I do have information that the Paul Syndicate is made up of 3 groups. The Bureau is one of them. A rumor that the Black Chalice is potentially a second, and the third is unknown. I say parties because there are multiple entities at work here. Yet, none of them seem to have a political alignment.
And why do you believe this Paul Syndicate to be the one that is trying to incite a war between our two nations? Why is it not solely on the Bureau to be making these choices?
I would assume that if the Bureau is working with other members of other entities, that they would potentially be working toward a common goal. why else form an alliance if you don't have a common goal? We first learned of the Pulse Syndicate soon after the assassination of Lord Nudal. From my understanding, he kept the peace, or was at least a large part of maintaining peace between your great nation of Uthran and the nation of Solaria.
Briar
After
stands
his
up
death.
pretty quickly when you mention Lord Nudal. Yes, this was quite a tragedy. Being from Solaria yourself, we have word that no assassin was held accountable. Do you have any information on this front? As Briar sits down.
In full disclosure and to be transparent with you, the members of the Council and Grand Duke, the only thing that we know regarding the assassination of Lord Nudal is the inspection from the weapon had magical means. We learned that from the clergyman that took care of Lord Nudal's body after the assassination. And the only other piece of information we have is that there was a rumor of a tabaxi named Needle, who was somehow involved.
We came to kill Lord Nudal, as what we were told.
But this is all, like I said, just things that we were told, but in honor of transparency and trust and honesty between the collective and yourselves, that is what we know.
If I could add to that, I believe the magic imbued into the arrows is very similar to the magic of the weapon that Vovek wields. And that is another link to the Bureau, trying to create conflict. We happen to believe that the people who killed Lord Nudal were from the Bureau, and who better to kill to help incite violence than the person holding peace together.
Alune stands, and Atticus sits down, and she says, "Now you mentioned that this bestowed member is separated and rogue from the Bureau. So why would the Bureau be connected in this assassination if he is so separate?"
To our knowledge, he has not been separated for a very long time. It is possible that he was still with the Bureau during the assassination.
I believe when we were first seeking out the Bureau, which was after the assassination, we encountered him, and I believe at that time he was still a member of the Bureau. Of course, we are not 100% certain.
And also, before we get too far ahead, I do want to mention that that type of magic did fall our friend and brother of the collective.
Lunes, and who may this be?
He was Sven the Kind.
And how was he found?
He was Vovek had pierced him with his magical glaive. Struck him down.
And where did you encounter him for this to happen?
We were charged with a task of the lost city. And
We heard that the Bureau was in the Lost City.
Brias speaks. The Lost City, correct me if I'm wrong, that is the former city of Solaria that was raised in the annexation. Yes? And
You are correct. Yes.
the rest of the council members nod. What were you doing in the Forgotten City? And what were you looking for?
If
Well,
I
there was
may,
a message board, and we, pulled tab off, and we
No.
It was
No.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Roll deception.
Thank you.
As he's
Cool. We're lying to the people that can kill us.
Oh
As
god,
the-
are we doing lies now?
Urodin is.
Now, I'm gonna point out that I literally just said we heard that the bureau was in the Lost City,
Yeah.
and that is why we were there.
Mhm.
Taylor did say.
This is D&D, baby.
11.
Let's
Okay.
Probably
Bryce
the level
sits down. At this point, as you're mentioning the probably around when you mentioned the Lost City, the first movement you see from the Grand Duke, he leans forward almost onto like his knees, holding his forearms up, pretty intently listening to all of you. And the lighting in the room, as that happens, a shadow is kind of cast over the left half of his face.
I will kind of piggyback back off of what Alar was saying, and just as Alar stated, after the assassination, we went to the Lost City on a lead that we had that the Bureau would be there. So we were there to search for them. And in turn, search for the person that was responsible for the assassination of Lord Nudal.
You, House Silbrick stands. Now, you have bestowed us with information. Is there anything else that we have not heard that you would wish to grace our ears with?
when we had met with former trainer of Zio, he agreed to teleport us to Uthran. And before we could all arrive safely, Vovek had grabbed our friend. So this person that has threatened us for months, and my friends for longer, has become aware of where we are and where this teleportation device leads to. And this is not a threat or a forbearing of danger, but this person that we have chased, that has given us this information to warn you, to prepare your kingdom, has the ability to infiltrate. So I think that it would be wise for the great kingdom of Uthran and Celeria to work together to find out what is going on behind closed doors.
There also is one other with the Vovek.
The guy in the corner just sweat. So many words.
Computer. A manual stenographer.
It's shorthand for a
fucking
reason.
sucks.
It's true.
We did at first see him as a just a carriage driver, but it turns out that he himself may call the shots. That is what I believe. I don't know. Do the rest of you agree?
He is called the Jockey. We do not have an appropriate name for him.
He is always with Hood, but he has highly skilled magical capabilities.
He is more powerful and potentially more of a threat than the Goliath Vovek himself.
Alune stands. And why do you presume he's in charge?
Well, as we snapped your fellow council member out of his fog, then we engaged with the both of them. And when the ending of the scuffle was near, the jockey had rescued the bestowed and magically escaped with the both of them.
In fact, the most recent encounter with them, I believe, ended. I was unconscious at this time, but I believe it ended when the jockey appeared and grabbed Vovek and said, "It is time," or I don't know, something. Vovek did not want to go, but the jockey took him.
There is a pause as, for the first time, the turtle speaks. As his eyes widen, and as he speaks, you can note his age, as on his little cane, as he picks his head up. Depending on how this meeting may go, what are your plans to deal with your assailant?
I'm gonna look at Alar.
We have not necessarily discussed this as a group, but it is of my desire, if we have no time to return to my clan for a moment. But anyways, it is of my desire to go to the Lost City. We left in a rush without really finding anything other than another adversary, and I think there are lots of leads to be found there.
Bryce speaks. So your plan is to go look for crews in a burnt and razed city?
Yes, we did find a person there, and I can only presume that either what he has done is there, or there are more people there to learn from.
Sort of pick up where we left off, if you must.
Finish what we left undone.
That is what I said.
Common isn't my first language.
There it is.
Had to be in one fucking.
Everybody take a drink.
Oop, there it is.
Jay, did you drink?
No one can tell.
The world may never know.
Actually, I did not.
Wow. Wow. Doesn't have a cam and doesn't participate in the drink.
Not gonna lie, my jaw is kind of locking up at the moment. Doesn't feel too good.
Oh no!
What?
Did you
Yeah.
scratch a nail recently? What?
You need some water.
No, it's like
Or
the
some-
muscle underneath my jaw. It happens occasionally.
Some hubba bubba. Just work it
Yeah.
out.
Suck less.
Well, I think the main reason why we are here, besides the reasons that were already given, is if we... This is a cliche. How are you? I'm fine. If we can work together, and resources may be passed on to us, we could bring down this Vovek and potentially question him to find out why he betrayed a group sought to wage war on both of the greatest kingdoms in Falbian. There might be a bigger picture, and he might just be a pawn. There are more unanswered questions than there are answered questions, but we feel so that there was no misunderstanding between the kingdoms to come to you directly, where I know that this could have easily been worded out and delivered by a raven or by magical means.
As you finish talking, for the first time, the Grand Duke stands. As,
Reload.
Ow.
as he stands, the shadow on his face now gone, his face fully lit.
Oh, fuck.
What was that?
What does the Duke look like?
It's Vovek.
To
mean.
to describe him
the
again,
driver.
black hair falling down to his shoulders with bright blue eyes. As the light from the sunset is coming through one of the windows that is reflecting off a large chandelier at the top, as the light is hitting his face, and his eyes seem to pierce through the dim light throughout the rest of the room. As he speaks,
White Walker.
Yeah.
your name, Ecclesias, correct?
Yes, Grand Duke.
Are you the master or the apprentice?
I must beg forgiveness. I do not understand this question.
From your comments earlier and your traveling clothes, I can tell. Esoteric Assembly. So, are you the master or the apprentice?
I would have to humbly respond that even the title apprentice would be giving me too much credit, as I up until recently have only been available for contract.
Then, please, for the record, state your master's name.
I have several, but the closest to whom I speak would be my Master Vale, followed by my Master Velos. And
Master Vale's first name, please.
Eve. Master.
We're at a pause screen right now, right?
Yep.
Yeah, your palms are sweaty. Knees weak.
My palms are
You,
actually
you,
sweaty.
you hit J to go to your journal to go back to episode 1.
Shit, gotta look at the fucking quest line.
Some good dead air.
I can
don't
tell you
think
if you
I'd
like.
I don't think
This
I'd
is something you'd
transfer.
we were
remember.
more,
You did
we
this.
were more on like a. We didn't.
His first name's William.
Oh,
Oh, I was
But,
close.
Is it seriously William?
William Vale.
Eh.
That is. It
My,
sounds a lot better when you say it, but
His name was William Vale. Forgive my pause.
And
Disadvantage on next roll, all of you.
That was
say
awkward,
anything.
dude. That was so
Except Jay, because his lockjaw is keeping him tied down.
I'm good now.
As you say his name, so, what does your master think of what is happening?
I have yet to inform him. Excuse me. I have yet to inquire more insight as to how I should move forward. He is aware of the Bureau. He is aware of Vovek. I have not had a moment to commune with him to see how he feels of his own opinions, as he only guides me as his apprentice. The wisdom that he bestowed upon me was to remain vigilant and to not be too hasty to run into an unknown circumstance.
How long have you been with the Assembly?
I have been with the Assembly for a little over 2 years now.
Cthulhu, was it not?
Yes, that it is.
not me.
Slides out of view.
It's homers into the bush.
Have you communed with your god on these matters?
I have, well, Grand Duke, sorry.
And what would you say that a god of light and law has on your experiences?
I seek to destroy evil. chaos and darkness, and how this matter shall be going, it does not seem there will be much light left. The Vovak, the Goliath, the Bureau, the Pole Syndicate, they are chaotic, barbaric in a way. They seek to make money off people's failures. They seek their own manipulated pride. So for what I am doing is I am going with the group, my group, that seek the betterment of Falbian, the protection of my temple, the protection of this land, and the place I call home. My God has told me, has given me visions, or whatever you want to call it, to follow this group, to protect them, at the cost even if it is my own. My own life is what I would give for this group, because I know my God has told me to be with them.
There's a pause. Battleborn. You say you are of the northern clans. Where exactly do you hail from?
Quick clarification, used to be north of the mountains, now south of the mountains, is that correct?
Well, some years ago, it was north of the mountain range that divides the domain, but then we migrated to south of that range.
And what was the need for this arduous move?
Immense loss.
The Collective, as you are so called, made up of members from all over Falbian, as it seems. Lord Zio Vunra, what are your plans should this conflict come to a head?
To be honest, Grand Duke, I have not thought of that. I have just thought of ways that I can keep this conflict from happening. My next goal has always been to find a way to stop this. I do not wish to have another war between the two nations. But I will be sticking with this group for the unforeseeable future in order to help make sure that this conflict does not happen and to do our best to make Falbian in general a better place.
He breaks his stature, rubs his hand on his face. Please, all of you, describe your contact with Lord Cornelio in Freyas. In your words, please.
Well, for transparency,
I'll I'll step up to next to Ecclesias. Like I said, or someone mentioned earlier, that our objective of tracking down Vovek had brought us to Freyas. When we arrived, we were greeted with unfamiliar banners and guardsmen. We had met with Lord Cornelio, and he had told us that he had also had interaction with Vovek. We then asked to have a formal kind of conversation, so it goes. And later that evening, Vovek, ourselves, and Lord Cornelio met in the hall in Freyas. Unfortunately, tension was very high, and Vovek began conflict with us. There were parts where I did make sure that Lord Cornelio was safe and out of harm's way between us and Vovek. And afterwards, it was discovered that Mayor Fairstone was in a dungeon, and we thought in order to best keep the peace, that the best course of action would be to have Lord Cornelio return to his home, and for Mayor Fairstone be able to have his home back.
I also want to look at Cornelio when I say the following. Fuck you. No, as a,
Fuck you.
I want to look at him and
when we arrived, it seemed that this Vovek and his master had a domain over Freyas, and in essence were manipulating Cornelio. And Cornelio was unaware of the aggressive and violent nature of these two. So there should be no wrongdoing pressed with Cornelio.
The Grand Duke speaks. Lord Cornelio's transgressions are not up for discussion and will be dealt with separately. But while we are on that note, it is to my understanding, and now aware that it was all of you, why had you not taken his life when given the opportunity, and so close to being able to do so?
Taken Vovek's life or Lord Cornelio?
Lord
I am
Cornelio.
confused.
To my understanding, Brias, you were taken held of, as you would put it. He nods.
I'll step forward. If we were to harm Lord Cornelio, it might have been seen as action from Solaria and would just press the conflict further and quicker. We felt that sending Cornelio back of his own free will, or at least making sure that he left, was the best course of action to make sure that no further conflict followed.
If I remember correctly, Lord Cornelio did not cause blood to run in the streets of Freyas.
Yeah, I'm correct on that, right? It was. Oh no, there was blood when he took. Oh, I thought it was. All right, never
Lots
mind.
of it.
I thought it was. All right, never mind.
Yeah.
I don't speak.
To
We were unaware of the political strife behind any of the reasons as to why Freyas had new banners, and the bannermen were in different colors. We were there to preserve Vovek, and we had no idea of any intentions or wrongdoing, right doing of anyone else. But as far as Lord Cornelio's well-being, we do not attack the lives of the innocent, nor do we spill blood without having reason, which is usually defense, to do so. Right, guys?
if I may,
Yeah.
for at least from my personal belief, he seemed to be a puppet in a much grander scheme. I don't know him, and I don't mean puppet in an offensive way. It's just the only term I could think of. He seemed like a puppet to the Goliath, because he is very powerful, like we have discussed, and his jockey is even more.
I will step up as well and say, and apologize if I am speaking out of turn, but the way that he ruled, there was life lost, and it was a very iron fist. He wanted to conquer, but I don't know if it was his own volition or if it may have been coerced from other outside parties.
If I may add, while we were there, no matter what was happening with the city, Lord Cornelio, at the time Mayor Cornelio, in fact, he did feed us, and he did invite us to the city house. I don't know what it was called. He was kind to us. So to kill him would be betrayal in a way.
At this point, the Grand Duke sits down. Brias speaks. Council members, as well as the Grand Duke, I believe that, not to put accusations out there, but we could probably extend more of an arm out to our fellow and the neighboring kingdom. Potentially come up with some sort of armistice to make sure tensions die down. Bell stands. It is odd that you would bring this up right after the discussions of your treachery.
So greasy.
Now, where that is conducted in a timeline, it is not connected in reason.
May I insight check Cornelio?
Sure.
Inside that greasy ball of...
Forgot about dice in this game.
Wait, what are those?
Improv with little spice of dice.
Dang it!
Dang it!
It's only it's a 7. I see through his
You're pretty nervous, and it's hard for you to rack over your nerves to try to tap into somebody else's tell.
Really holding in a fart.
Really focused on not farting.
Lune stands. Yes, Brias, but you would have something to gain from this, would you not? Yes, I would. I believe that is obvious, but I believe that we would all have something to gain. Now, Lord Bell, Atticus, I believe that you would have the most to gain from this. As well as Ballad here, she would also have much to gain. As the head of House Sobrick, that you just heard, her first name is Ballad, as she stands. Well, what kind of proposition are you making then, Brias? I'm not making any sort of proposition irregularly, but I am saying that potentially, if we opened a line of communication, if this treachery and this violence is as true as they make it to seem, we may be able to benefit from these negotiations.
If I may.
As all four of them, as they're standing having a conversation with each other, they all turn and look at you.
It seems to me, one, that everyone would benefit from the peace, from the people at the very top to those farming the fields. And secondly, it seems that the broker of peace was Lord Nudal, and to replace him would be beneficial. However, as we have all seen, one man is susceptible to death, and having a council, perhaps of equal members of both domains, might be a way to move forward with peace.
I have a question for the council, if it is not out of line.
They all sit.
Thank you. May I ask, what is your opinion of the Uthranian government kingdom to that of the Solarian government and kingdom? It seems that there was a hard-fought peace, and something, as we have mentioned before, is trying to rip that apart. So I am curious as to how you perceive your neighborly kingdom.
The Grand Duke stands as he looks at you. No, he's Chuck Norris, just.
Fuck you, Chuck Norris.
Roundhouse kick to the face.
Ron Hawks.
No.
Who's that?
My delay is to potentially word this without showing offense to you. But our standing and opinion of a foreign power is not that of yours to know. Moreover, one of its citizens. But if it would ease your conscience, it is not one of ill will. Lords and ladies, today we have heard new information and enlightenment on old information from this group known as the Collective. What are all your thoughts on these dealings, and how should we proceed going forward? Lune, as she stands, after hearing what has transpired in our own nation, as well as... Sorry, do you need to adjust your glasses or something, Cthulhu? It's okay, just stay in one spot and they won't need to move.
It fell, okay?
Shots fired.
It is my belief that, as Bryce has recommended, we have a more direct line of communication with King Doro. So I am in favor of opening this line. She sits. Lord Bell stands. I would also welcome having a more direct conversation with King Doro. She sits. Ballad stands. I am unsure on how exactly to proceed. I am not convinced yet that two nations are under threat of war from the information of 6 adventurers. as she sits back down. Brias stands. Well, my opinion is probably pretty obvious, considering I'm the one that brought it up in the first place, but I think that we should open this line of communication, and at worst, we stay as we are, and at best, maybe borders become more open. As he sits. As everyone then looks at Akir, the turtle, as he speaks. I agree that we must not waver at the chance for communication. And as the turtle turns in the chair a little bit, the only one out of the group, Emerson, as he looks at the Grand Duke, calling him by his first name.
Whoa.
I do not believe that we should pass over the nature that was provided to us that was not your kin. As he turns, looks back at all of you, and gives a... as it slowly fades. And goes back. As the Grand Duke stands again. Collective. It is my decision, upon the advisement of the Council, that we shall open a channel of direct communication with the King of Solaria. However, this is under stipulation, and one that you all must fulfill. We have talked here now for a few hours, and evidence you have brought has circulated and gone astray, but always collected at one point. That point being an assailant of yours, and something that seems to be a thorn in everyone's side. And should it be the reasoning behind this conflict, or the verge of one, I see it as no one else's but your responsibility to deal with this foe and bring this problem to a head. This line of communication will be opened and discussions will be had on the stipulation that you bring an end to the tyranny that you see in this bestowed member or former of the Bureau. What say you all? You're free to discuss. As he sits back down, as he awaits you all to, as the gentleman that called you all, like, up to speak, he gives you a motion if you'd like to step off the spot to speak.
Yeah, should we go take some time to talk amongst ourselves?
All of you make a perception check as well.
Oh!
Well.
4?
10.
10?
22.
Oh, 22. Okay.
17.
17?
14.
19.
19. So...
What do my cat I see?
June, Cthulhu. What'd you get, Eddie?
17.
17. Urodin and Ecclesias, you notice as you all go to step off to discuss, over in the corner, not trying to be overly obscure or stealthy, you do notice Kane leaning against a wall listening to the conversations be had. How long he's been here, you're unsure. As you all step off to discuss.
I don't.
You don't go with us?
Because like the council's waiting for us and everybody steps down to go have a private word.
they gave us permission to go.
Yeah, they're giving us
The
permission
Duke
to go
said if
talk
you would
to
like to discuss,
Yeah.
feel free.
Yeah.
You don't have to. I'm just saying that's what he said.
All he said was basically to kill Vovek, right?
That's what I'm.
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah, that's. I didn't want to.
Yeah,
I don't go. I stay
Yeah.
where I'm standing.
Okay.
I'd probably stay as well.
I actually would.
I look
Start to
back
speak out.
confused at them, but I'm like, come on, let's go. And if they don't move, then I'll go with if Zio goes and June goes, then I'll go with them.
I'll stay with the party.
Yeah, I guess I would walk.
Aloy,
I would be kind of like walking with Urodin and kind of look back like, okay.
What is happening?
If
I understand my group's desire to communicate, but I think all you have said is to ensure the end of Vovek the Bestowed, and that has already been our mission.
Yeah, Ecclesias is kind of sneering at the council right now.
I just like throw my hands up and walk back to the group.
As you begin speaking again, the Duke leans forward again, that shadow casting over half of his face.
Bless you, Duke.
Thank you.
It is, at least in my experience, not noble to kill someone, even if a deity orders it, even if it is for the better good. Killing is a horrible thing, but in this one case, it is the only path I see forward. And I believe my group agrees, and I think the only thing we can ask for is if there is a way that you could support us in that endeavor, it would be welcome. If I may be so bold to say that.
I will step up next. I agree with Alar here. I think that our goal has been just that for quite some time now. Second, of course, to making sure that no conflict arises, or at least to prevent it as much as we can. But I don't think that we need to have a conversation on this. I think that this is something that we have united in this mission well before this meeting. But if there is any assistance that we can provide in opening this line of communication between Uthran and Solaria, between yourself, Grand Duke, and King Doro, I think that we would love to help any way we can.
I'm gonna kind of step forward and just like looking at everyone like, why didn't we just take a second? And
I look like I'm mad about my friend's decisions.
I'm disappointed.
okay, not mad.
I wanted to go to the other bar.
Yeah. No, but I step forward and I say, Lords and ladies, Grand Duke, yes, anything that you need from us as far as opening the line of communication, I think Zio said it best, we're more than willing to help. As far as your task for us to bring justice to Vovek the Bestowed, my companions have already mentioned that yes, this has been one of our objectives for quite some time. However, I'm asking you, and I'll kind of turn to the Grand Duke and the Council. We've mentioned not only Vovek the Bestowed as an issue here, but the Bureau itself, and then perhaps an even larger entity, the Paul Syndicate. Now, you can task our group with finding out more information. I I suppose I would like to know what the next steps that are about to be taken regarding that information. Because, yes, we will pursue the Goliath, Vovek, and we will bring him to justice. But there are other issues at play here.
Bigger issues than I feel like you are not addressing. With all due respect, Council, there has been an assassination of a diplomat between the two kingdoms. There has been proof given that there is a group that wants war, which will cost your kingdom a fortune, and many lives will be lost. You can read in the history on how war ravages not only the rich, but mainly the poor, and how long it takes to rebuild. I am confused as to why your resolve is for us to continue as we were, as if this stopping point and this council was not needed.
The Grand Duke, without standing, begins to speak. I understand your passion, but do not attempt to tell me how hard it is to rebuild after war. Now, this bureau that you speak of, yes, I agree. It is a problem, not one that can be solved overnight. One that needs to be dove into, which will be done. It is not easy for a kingdom as large as ours or Solaria's to look into a shrouded mystery of a group that may or may not be behind this. Now, I think all of us are in agreement that we do not want war, and that a more direct discussion needs to be had on what is happening exactly, and to make sure that if some group does want war, it does not happen. In terms of your search, that multiple members say that you are already investigating and going after the death of this Goliath. I see it as a good potentiality to show on our good faith where the collective stands between these two nations. Now, where I do not distrust you, I do not fully put my faith in you.
I don't understand. You are tasking us to continue with our mission, of which you had no information, and if we succeed in our mission that you had not known about until now, then you will trust us, but not the information and the fact that we went out of our way. So
Ecclesias,
hopefully,
I put my hand on your thing. I think what the Duke is saying is that they've heard us.
put my
They
what?
understand.
Yeah, that's...
I don't know. I meant to say put my hand on your
Those
shoulder.
words: arm, hand,
got
shoulder, ale,
He
bag.
On
has
your
paws,
thing.
he doesn't have hands. We don't know his
thing.
Shut your face. And I address and I say, I believe that what the Duke is saying is that himself and the council have heard what we've had to say. We brought our message to the council like we set out to do. We will now continue with our task, which we have informed the Grand Duke and the council about, and on completion of that task, that will show the Grand Duke that we are capable of doing what we say we are going to do.
The Duke speaks. Olune, and she stands. Are they in your care for their stay here? Yes, they are, Grand Duke. Very well. Anything they need while they're here in their search, provide it. He looks over. Council members, anything anyone else would like to say? It's a pause. Collective. I didn't even get it till then. Fuck.
Dramatic pause.
Pause. McCloud. Collective. Is there any other conversations you wish we had or information that you have be known to us?
No.
He stands and the council members stand and everyone in the bleachers stands.
Just as everyone stands, Erden steps up and he says, "Oh, if there's any other tests that any council member has, I am available to help."
Ecclesias looks at the rest of the group and kind of before I council members, thank you for your time. And I don't know if there's an appropriate way of being dismissed, but Ecclesias kind of about faces and dismisses himself, kind of.
Okay.
And I walk through the.
Go ahead.
And I walk through the group, and I leave.
The Duke speaks and says, "The collective, the council, and I are happy that you have brought this information to our attention. Now I would hope that you would all understand how fast things can and cannot move in a situation like this." As he looks over the council. "You are in Alune Vunra's care until you leave. Anything you should need, as you have asked for aid, is hers to give. Any information that need be may travel through her. The pleasure was all mine in meeting all of you. You are all dismissed, and council is adjourned."
I bow and take my leave.
As he turns before you all say your goodbyes, and he goes and leaves through the back.
I'll do a formal bow to everybody and kind of make sure that everybody else is bowing before they leave.
Mm-hmm.
And then
So as you all make your
Start
proper
heading out.
goodbyes, the council members, they form together. As the bleacher members, they all file out. As you guys turn to leave and you notice Kane is no longer there. As you all exit out of the main chambers, that is where we're going to take a break.
all right.
Oh, I need to stop making councils. There was a moment where one of you were saying something and I ignored you because I don't like you. And I was like, all right, Anthony,
Yep.
I'm not messing up any more voices. And from that point out, I was like, before they speak, I think of their voice. Before I was like, this person speaks, and then, oh, that's not their voice. So I do have a couple shout outs. Thank you. God, I knew this was going to be your name, but Sporgus Swaus. Thank you for the follow, buddy. Thanks, thanks, John. And then ShyWolf42, thank you for the follow. And then Beast, thank you for resubscribing for tier 1 for 5 months, buddy.
Hey.
Pog you all. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. To everybody that is still here, make sure you hang around for the intermission where you can see the new artwork and enjoy some of the lovely music of Ecclesias Zion Amirius. We will be back in about 15 or 20 minutes. Don't go far, and we will see you soon. Take care, and we will be back.
Everything we do is
When did that
scripted.
die?
What are you talking about?
So
When did that die?
scripted.
Clip it. When did that die? Fuck.
And I'll say AV.
Someone. What happened? Who did that?
What
was my
in the
fault.
Who
fuck?
did that? Who
That
did
was my fault. I was turning her down and hit the wrong button. That's totally my fault. I'm so sorry.
Did you just
I
boot
need
me?
that clipped now.
Did you just
Yeah.
boot me?
It was on accident.
Eddie?
If you're still in chat, can you mark that timestamp?
Edward.
or somebody?
Wait, now?
Balls?
Are you gonna
Wait,
lose
now?
the silent game? Wait,
I
when
think
did
we're
we start?
professionals, right?
Did we start the game yet?
We're
Right
trying. Some people take it seriously.
Did we miss the countdown?
All I heard was 1, and now I'm confused.
You guys can unfollow us if you want. That's okay.
One-
I understand.
Can I unfollow
Yeah.
us?
No.
Can I unsubscribe my own channel?
Alrighty. So, As you all exit the royal chambers, you're left outside. Zoomerin no longer there. As Ecclesius, did you actually storm off, or was that just for flavor? Did you want to leave with the group out of the main chambers, or did you actually leave?
I left before them.
Okay.
Maybe not old western the doors, but just step down before waiting to be dismissed.
I like to imagine he was holding his crotch and his legs were crossed, and he was like, "I have to go."
I have to do pee-pee out of my pee-pee.
All right. So
Was that subtle enough?
as you all meet up back with Ecclesius outside the council chambers, what would you all like to do?
That went well. At least we formed the bond between the kingdoms again. That is good news.
What about our
Yeah,
bonds?
definitely.
I'm gonna go over to Urodin. Are you okay?
I'm a little confused. We call ourselves the collective, but we're more of a separative.
Oh, what?
We had a chance to go talk amongst ourselves, and no one moved.
The reason why I didn't go regroup is because I feel as if that meeting was digressing, and I cannot have imagined another conversation. How would that have gone? We did that multiple times before, and it wasn't as if we had anything else to go off of. I was more anxious to get back once we realized the council just wanted us to keep doing what we were doing. I did not mean to offend if we had a meeting that I neglected.
Well, we did give a chance to even speak amongst ourselves prior, barely prior, and then I feel like we could have gone in there and said, "How do we all think about this? We all on the same page? Okay, good. We go out."
I think we were. We did it multiple times.
I just wanted to see what I did at the end there. When I offered my own services, is I was gonna talk to you guys. Maybe we can earn coin. But
Well, maybe
we
we
didn't
should
talk about that.
Maybe we should head back to my house and have this conversation there.
Yeah, you're right.
We can talk and walk. But
Kind of walk with Urodin.
I think at this point, our goal isn't to earn coin as much as it would be fantastic. Our goal is to stop a war and to stop this Goliath and his merciless killings at this point. I feel like that is all our goal is. We can't really divert from it. Because if we do, we go too far off the beaten path and...
But you heard the Grand Duke, he said it takes time. We got to get information. Information comes to us. That takes time. We can still keep busy in between. I'm not going to sit around.
I hate
Well,
to
I
say
had no intention of I'm sorry, Cthulhu. Go ahead.
I don't want the Goliath out there roaming the streets of some poor town, taking a conquest like he is this almighty god at this point. He is going to... I just don't want another soul to be harmed by him. So I
If
feel
it makes
like
you
that
feel
was our-
better, that he seems like he only wants either us or Alar. Unless I'm only under that impression, I can't picture him slaying villages or other people. I feel like his pursuit is with at least Alar. But I agree with you, Cthulhu. Don't get me wrong.
And I also agree too. I don't want him going out and dragging things on the ground. But I don't believe he's gonna do that. He has a mission of his own. We have a mission to stop him. I don't think he's gonna go pillage and kill for sport. That is not.
That's
he's
what
controlled.
he did in Freyas. He
Oh,
made the
sorry.
streets run red. There was
Because
no
he
other
was-
mission.
He was turning Uthran against Celeria. That was his mission. He made it.
Ultimately, we'll find him.
And then what would be his mission now changing? Yes, we almost kicked his ass, and yes, I
Because
almost
we
died
stopped
and
him,
we
so
lost.
we have to. He's
Just-
gonna have to do bigger and better. So he's gonna find another city. Maybe he'll go directly to Celeria. Who knows? We have to stop him before it happens.
Exactly.
But
have a
he's
good-
not gonna go to that swamp town we were in, and he's not gonna desecrate that for no reason.
Smash cut to that town right now.
The spa has been destroyed.
I just believe that we are a mere side mission for him. It would be glorious for him to kill me or Ayla or whoever he really fucking wants. It'd be glorious, but he is being driven by the jockey. He does not make the shots. We saw it. He got pulled out of that room like a kid that was told no to candy.
I think that his... I feel like his focus will be with Alar, because as Alar mentioned, it seems that the Raven Queen has either made a mistake, or there is competing interest in her chosen ones. So I would be hard-pressed to find the Goliath not going after Alar. But as far as the coin is concerned, there is a chapter of the Esoteric Assembly in Uthran, and I can make gold now. Well, with all of your help, of course. But I wanted to ask you a question. I need to get in touch with my master and tell him what is going on, and potentially have him reach out with his contacts to help us find Vovek. Even if he can give us a heads up on where he can find him, or where he might be.
Are you looking for more permission?
Do you need more Electrum?
No, I have enough Electrum. It does not use it. I need it, but it does not go away. I just wanted to let you all know for transparency, because I know that you all distrusting of my group.
I trust you, though. That's the thing.
Yeah, I appreciate that that sentiment. But yeah, you can contact and let us know what he says.
I mean, to be fair, Alar literally says he's killed my kind like multiple fucking times. And I still trust him.
That is true.
I am heading
at this
out
point, you
and...
guys get to the carriage that takes you back.
Yeah.
There's their Uber.
Yeah. As you pass through the marketplace, as the sun has set and it is pretty chilly out, even though it's just entering springtime. Not enough for you guys to, you went from super cold to not very, very fast. So it's a weird shift in the dynamic where now you're just chilly. You're not like frozen to the bone. As the carriage takes you back up through the city and back up to Zio's manor, as it takes the winding turn in front of the home as you are all let out. And apparently 34 tap dancing butlers do backflips out of that building.
Numbers 452, 628.
Exactly. As you all head in and you are in the main great hall.
I'm sorry.
As you're all in the main hall, what would you all like to do?
How many butlers are around?
All of them.
None.
You heard them. 8,000 of them.
Zio,
All
is there a
8,000.
room where I can have a bit of privacy to contact my master?
Yeah, you should have been shown to your own room.
That was the biggest go fuck yourself. Yeah, your own room.
Look up.
You have your own room.
Yeah,
get
the
butler to
room-
tell you
Did
where
we just did like a big walk around the house? I don't remember we all got
It's
our own
the room
so-
that you changed in is going to be your room for your stay in Uthran.
Oh yeah, that's right. I'll be right back, and I'd go
Wait,
there.
Ecclesias,
Yes.
Go.
does more election help you communicate better?
No, I apparently have exactly the amount I need.
Ecclesias,
time.
you would know that you can connect to him and you can still have the conversation, but one thing you'd remember is when Master Vale is contacting you and speaking with you, there's a notable increase in how many are around, and his visage is a lot more clear, so you know the more election you use, the clearer the connection could be.
But I haven't had any issue talking with
No,
him,
you can
so-
still talk to him. I'm just saying you would know because you've seen it, that if you had, you're unsure how many, but if you had a lot more, if you wanted, it could improve the quality of the call.
Yeah.
call.
You've bought us a lot of things, and I kind of reach out, and I have 15 electrum in my hand.
Oh, wow. Well, it was hour ago, and I just have a big enough pot. Well, thank you.
There you go.
And I will take them temporarily.
I'm a big
You
enough thank you.
have Hey Zio, is there a targeting range and or archery zone?
Ooh.
And also, Ayla, you want to go round 2 for sparring?
But I'll go to the room as I do this.
It's very late at night right now, right?
Probably about 11.
It's night noon.
Night noon.
Fuck you guys.
But wait,
Start
hold
noon.
up. Is it because like is there a time zone difference? So like when we traveled,
Time
It was
zones
like-
are manufactured.
okay.
It doesn't.
Well,
yeah,
time zone as in the fact like it's bright and that
the
kind of-
sun is still gonna.
We didn't
be
go
lit
that far.
when the sun is.
I mean, you guys, the time zones are manufactured.
Okay.
The sun is where it is. It's
Um,
gone. It's
Which
night.
is the moon.
Sun is where it is.
Yeah, the sun is on the
Well,
opposite side of the
all
moon right
two.
now.
What is the moon's phase, if I may ask?
Go fuck yourself.
Pull
I'm
out that
sorry.
really sweet calendar you made.
No, I want to dock. I want to print it off.
maps.
Wait, can we get
It's,
a channel that says
available.
calendar and it's in calendar?
No, that's too many
Yeah.
channels.
Only calendar. One calendar.
It's too many channels.
It's a waxing half moon.
Cool. Jesus.
So, before I answer Urodin's question, I want to kind of take a look around and see if my parents are back.
No, you would have beaten them here.
Okay.
Well, your
I
father, you're
figured I would-
unsure. You don't know where he is, but your mother, you know, wouldn't
Yeah.
be here yet.
Okay. The important one's gone. Got it.
Wow. He heard that. Somehow,
Real man.
he heard that. He
He was
felt
in the
it.
background.
I want to
Butler
know
number
you're home.
472 heard that.
Urodin, well, actually, DM, would the training room be large enough for target practice for archery?
I don't know. It depends on how long you want to target. It's like 70 feet long, so.
Urodin, I mean, yeah, we could set up some targets in the training room.
Probably some in there.
Yeah, there. We have something, but don't hit the walls.
Are you gonna use butlers? Like you have so many.
No.
You've seen me shoot. You know I'm fucking great.
He's
So.
live target.
Yeah, I've seen you shoot
Got enough.
Ecclesius and I together. So are you saying that was on purpose?
Yes.
Okay.
I
Well-
hit what I aimed for. Okay, every single time.
All right. Well,
That
to
don't matter.
answer
Are you
your
mad at that?
question, Cthulhu and Alar, if you wanted to spar, the training room is also open to both of you.
Wait, does the training room and the archery room the same room?
Yes.
Oh fuck.
I don't have an archery room. I have a training room that is probably large enough for you to practice some archery.
Just convert like an entire wing of bedrooms that you have that no one lives in into an archery room now.
I was gonna say. I
All
don't
these
know
walls
archery room.
shouldn't be here.
Like,
I like
room's a
that.
bedroom if you put a bed.
That's true.
He goes down to like the maid's quarter hallway and starts just shooting it. One pops
This
out
archery
their
room
head.
has a toilet.
I'm just gonna go out to your Butler vineyard and take some shots.
Where we grow all the finest butlers.
Would you like me to
All of the
show?
fattest butlers.
Would you like me to show you guys to the training room?
Yes, please.
I would enjoy that.
I
Alar?
think I am going to go to bed.
Zia, that
That
means
is
you're
fine.
up.
Sure.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I'll take you on.
All right, I'll watch
Um,
this.
All right, so as you take them to the training room, and Alar, you go up to bed. June, are you accompanying them?
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. So,
That was in character.
okay. Ecclesius, you head back to your room. And as you get there, you set out. Do you set out the electrum that Cade has given, or sorry, that Cthulhu gave you?
Yep, I'll do it in an exact even pattern with my 23 pieces.
All right, exactly even. So as you do so, and you try to contact out Mr. Vale, Mr. Vale, Master
Mr. Vale.
Mr. Vale, Master
Willie.
Vale.
Mr. Willie.
There's a little bit of a delay, but eventually, you see one electrum light in front of you, where his visage would be, and then another two, then two, then two, then two, all the way around as his appearance comes up. As you can tell that he's in some sort of adventuring gear. He's not in his dress, casual robes that you've seen him before, where he's sitting, and you can tell that he's in his quarters or something thereof. He has, a cloak over him, not cloak, a robe over him that is a little hardier, and there's a, traveling bag over his shoulder. Is he? Yes, Ecclesius, I'm sorry it has taken me so long and that you needed to contact me and not the other way around. I apologize. Are you in danger? Are you alright?
I am not in physical danger, but I am in mental distress.
Please, speak.
We had just had a hearing with the Council of Uthran. We had
You've made it far?
Yes, we are our way here now. And I do intend to make contact with the branch, the chapter of the Esoteric Assembly here. But that is not as important as what I meant to talk to you about. We have been tasked to continue our pursuit of Vovek the Goliath. Because we know the Bureau wants to create war with Uthran and Celeria, which would be terrible for the entire realm of Falbian. The Duke knows that I am part of the Assembly, as I proudly wear my emblem, but I was hoping I could request something of the Guild.
What do you need, Ecclesius?
This Vovek is a dangerous person. I believe we can take care of him. It's the jockey who seems to hold the leash. I was wondering if the little sparrows in our guild can keep an eye out for this Vovek, or workings of the Bureau, and potentially help us track where we need to go. Because we cannot win the favor of the Council of Uthran unless we see to it that Vovek is brought to justice.
I'll have to study my own mind, but I believe that yes, we can do something like that. Ecclesius, please stand. As he's standing in his visage, but you're normally kneeling. Let me teach you something. And he goes through a series of hand movements, and he teaches you a cantation that is in what languages do you speak?
I speak Common. I speak Sylvan. I speak Deep Speech.
Alrighty. You do not know the meaning of the words, but he teaches you an incantation to speak, and you being so eloquently spoken, you are able to wrap your tongue around the syllables even though you know not their meaning. And as you are both standing and you're making these hand sigils in front of you as you say these words, what you notice is a little bit of a crackle of energy going in between the two of you. As the energy intensifies, as a large purple shroud it appears in front of you, as Master Vale takes a step forward, as you see around him a blue effervescence to the surrounding, and looks like there's some foliage. As you look around, and there is, you notice that there's a table that you knew to be in your room, as there's a stool that was also there. As you take a step forward, and it seems that you two have linked your electrum communication together and have created a pocket ethereal portal. As
he's actually here?
As he's physical and he puts his hand on your shoulder. I'm sorry that I have not been here. I'm sorry that I have not been here to guide you.
I'll give him I want to reach my hand out to do the awesome handshake.
Yep. And he takes his hand off your shoulder, and he gives you the handshake.
I did not know this was possible with the Electrum. Thank you for teaching this.
You're welcome. You generally need a stronger connection. If you get a couple more, we might be able to make things a little more physical, but... So, this Vovek, the Bestowed, as you call him, do you have anything that I may be able to tap into specifically that will help me locate him?
He has a glaive that is marked with the necrotic damage that is also linked to the Raven Queen. It seems that Alar, our companion and friend, has a symbiotic relationship through this unknown weave that the Raven Queen seems to have woven. This jockey that seems to be pulling the ropes can manipulate the fabric of reality in teleporting ways I have never seen, which is only one, and counting this now 2 different ways to teleport.
Now, I don't. If it was not transparent, you aren't teleported anywhere. You are still in your space, and he is in his. But you guys have created an ethereal link, so you guys are pretty much in like a tube that is connected just between your 2 points, which seems like from your point of view, it's like 10 feet long, but obviously it is connected over some great distance.
Tubes.
What is a motorcycle made of?
Tubes.
Alrighty, and as Master Vale, give me a few minutes. If you'd like, you can just meditate next to me, but I'm going to try to locate this Vovek. Do you have any physical items of his or anything that I could see on you?
I do not possess, no. He is scarred on one side of his face, a bold white skinned, and the glaive stands about as tall as he does.
Very well.
But I do not have any physical items. But I will remain silent and meditate myself. Actually, I have an idea, Master Vale. I do not know if this is risky or irresponsible, but if possible, if I were to reach out with my mind to send him a message over the plains, would you potentially focus on where my mind seems to go? Would that help you locate him?
That is a very clever way to use your skills, but unfortunately I do not think it would work that way. Your description may be good enough, but it is only if his will is not strong enough to reject me. Give me some time, I will see what I can turn up. As he leans down, as he starts casting a spell, as you sit there and you start to meditate, your head kind of tingles as thoughts are entering your head, and they're jumbled, they're not your own, as you begin to realize that you're hearing the thoughts of Master Vale. In this connection that you two have together, it is somehow joining you more than just physically. As he continues to cast this spell, as he takes a focus and sets it in front of a very ornate looking, and it's a crystal ball. And as he spends about 10 minutes casting this spell, let's see if Vovek rejects it.
Does he?
Nah.
I give Master Vale Bardic Inspiration. I believe in you.
No, okay. How do you give him inspiration?
Master Vale, you have taught me everything I know. If there's anybody that can find this person, it is you.
Okay, what's his Bardic Inspiration?
He gets a +8 to any roll.
Yeah, is it a D8?
Or not a +8. Yeah, D8, not a +8.
So, I'm going to roll this, and I'm going to subtract it from Vovek's roll. We'll see what happens.
D&D!
Give us an 8, baby.
As Ecclesius, as he casts the spell, and barely by one, as your vision is shifted, as you see in your head Volvek. You see probably about 10 feet cylindrical around him. You cannot see outside of that. It is a magical darkness that you cannot peer through. Not that he's in it, but you can realize that that's the limitations of this spell cast. You see him as he is the ground below him, a dark, cracked stone, as he is walking. Glaive not at his side, as he walks up to something you're unable to see, as he kneels down. And as he kneels down, you see, almost from the core of him, start to emit this black, misty smoke that swirls and surrounds him. As his head peers down, you see it start to envelop him, as he starts to control it, as it forms behind him, goes over his shoulders, forms wings, comes back in, goes under his arms, creates what looks to be a piece of chest armor. As that fades, as large gauntlets go over his hands that shoot out a large spike at the top, as that fades. And as his head pops back up, his eyes wide, all black, as that fades into his iris. As he looks up, not directly at you, he gives a slight nod of affirmation as the vision fades.
I saw him. Did you see him too?
I did, yes. That's everything you saw, I saw.
He seems more controlled. This is not good. It seems that he is more powerful. That smoke, he was able to wrap that around him and make armor from it. I have to tell my friends.
Now don't be so hasty. Think. Calm your emotions.
Right.
As he stands you up.
Think.
I know that you will make a rational decision. He does seem more controlled than what you've told me before in his erratic behavior. But it seems that he's still learning.
So there is time. Perhaps to disrupt his training of some sort. We just have to keep an eye on him. And if anyone in any way I can help as well, I will attempt to inform the chapter here in Uthran. I will be discreet, of course.
Yes, in fact, and he goes into his bag and he pulls out a small cylindrical, well, it's a square, but it's like a long rectangular box, probably about 2 feet long, and he hands it to you. Could you please present this to Master Uban?
Yes. And without opening it, or I just slip it right into my bag of holding.
He puts his hand on your shoulder again. Apprentice, again, I am sorry that I've been so distant. I've been busy, and the world, as you know, is a dangerous place. I promise you that I will have work for you soon, and something that is larger than what we've dealt with before, but something you and I can handle together.
I appreciate your guidance and your quick response, as always, Master Vale.
He turns around to go back into his space. Ecclesias, I know things are dire, but don't forget to have fun. That's
fun?
Yes. Enjoy your time. There's a lot of shadow and misery and strife in the directions that we're going, but remember that fighting everything and striking light into the darkness is only worth it if you have something that is worth enjoying.
I will try to honor your request to have fun.
And Ecclesias gives a little bit of a smile.
Not my request. It should be your own. As he steps back into his space. Goodbye, Ecclesias. I will speak with you soon.
Goodbye, Master Veil.
As first the portal between you, as from behind you see, as all the electrum gets turned off, as his visage goes away, as you're left standing there in the original circle that you created, back in the bedchambers in the Vunra Manor.
I'll pick up my electrum and I'll try to find everybody went.
Alrighty. So while all of that was happening,
We're having fun.
what would you guys like to do? You
Well,
guys make it to
I'll
the
leave.
training room. You see the long,
Yep.
elongated, 60-foot by probably about 30-foot wide training room. There are some archery targets that can be set up. One of one of the butlers would set it up for you should you request. Sets it up as they leave, and you are left alone with Cthulhu, Zio, Urodin, and June.
Well, Urodin, there's your target set up if you'd like to practice your shot.
Okay, so how much gold do you have on you?
Do I?
Yeah.
You betting?
I don't think I actually have any.
Yeah, I'm broke too. That's all. I just want one gold piece.
I don't have a gold piece.
Does
I
it
have
to
some
be
silver.
gold?
Okay, I'll take that. That works. Yeah, maybe I should use lesser
How about some
currency.
copper?
Okay. Put it in the dummy where eyes would be. And then
Okay.
I want to make bets that I can hit all the eyes.
How many shots?
I don't know. How many dummies are there?
The 3.
Are these
3, so that's 6 eyes. And I'll
6
hit all of
shots,
them.
6 eyes.
Yep.
and if you don't?
Then I don't know. There's not much. Who is this? That is. Who are you? I just.
Feral
I don't know. Maybe I can do like the cleanups of camps for the rest of our travels for a while, or I'll like do the errands and stuff.
You know what?
Or-
I'll take
or-
you on that.
Yeah.
Unless
if
you guys have a better
5
counter
gold.
bet.
No, if you miss even one eye, you have to get all of our firewood for
Next India head.
For life.
For
For-
life.
for the next 2 months
Okay. I'll
Of
do that.
travel.
of
Travel.
travel.
Yeah, I've traveled.
Of course,
not
of
one
course.
way.
After we leave.
Can I?
And-
So
How much does a
the
butler-
targets are a circular target that's on a stand. So it
Oh,
has
I thought it was. I was picturing like an actual dummy.
no, it's an actual archery
Fable
target.
style.
So it has outer rings that each are going to have a different AC associated to them. The bullseye, obviously the hardest. If you want, we can do this point based because I have points assigned to it. If you'd like, is somebody else shooting against you, or are you just shooting to see how good you are?
I'm
Yeah,
just
I
I think he's gonna
we're
try to
putting
get 3
copper.
bullseyes in a row.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay, yeah.
3 bullseyes in a row. Very well.
Yep.
For
So,
bullseye, you get copper.
how many feet are you standing
So-
away? Does it have to be 60? I think, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I
Okay,
think so.
60,
Or
very well.
80.
First, we have to put in a pot.
I'll put 7 gold that he does it.
Oh shit!
I
It's a
Don't have
longbow,
some-
Okay.
so I have to be. The minimum range is 150.
No. You could be shorter than that. 150 is no disadvantage. Past that, up to 400 is you can shoot that far and hit something with disadvantage.
It says 600.
Your
Whatever.
minimum range is
short me,
5
man.
feet.
So,
Oh, okay.
what's your pot?
Gotcha. Okay, so
June,
I'm
how
just
much you
making
wanna
that
put
bet,
in?
but I don't have gold to bet anything. So.
Well, if you
you're
lose,
betting your services.
yeah, if you
Alright.
luse,
Oh,
you
and then
have
you
to
guys
get
are
all
all
our
betting.
firewood.
I gotcha.
If
I'll
you
put-
win, you get what we're throwing in.
Just ask your parents for money. I'll put 3 gold in.
I don't have. Yeah, I don't have gold on me, but I can throw some copper in. Here's 5.
Maybe you can bet a butler to come with us.
They're not mine.
Banish him to certain doom.
What is your modifier on a arrow?
+10.
Okay.
Oh shit! All right, I throw in
+10. Oh, that's right. You fighter.
5 silver.
5 silver, 7 gold.
5 gold.
5 gold, 5 silver. Anything else?
5 copper.
5 copper. Okay.
5, 5, 5.
Alrighty. So, Urodin, as you stand up, how close do you want to be? We'll do 60 feet? Sure. As you stand up and you take your first bow, or your first
Shay
arrow,
says do a pull
you knock it 4.
Will
to
Urodin
see if
win?
he's gonna
Sure.
honor a bet.
30-20.
Well,
Oh, shit.
I didn't tell you to roll, so it doesn't matter.
Oh, okay.
Oh, ho, ho.
Stop it.
I'm helping
He does
you.
have a +10.
I stopped
If
it
you're
in the
going
name
for
of chat.
bullseyes, I'm helping you.
Yeah, it has to be bullseyes.
I'm breathing heavily.
Because you don't want to have to get all that firewood.
He doesn't have abilities like I have to instantly cut a tree down.
No, I don't cheat. I'm a man.
I'm a real man. I'm a real boy.
I'm a real half-orc.
There's gonna be another bet after this.
Excuse me?
So there's gonna be another bet, I feel like, after this. Me and Zio are gonna go at it.
Oh. I thought you said bed.
No.
And I was like, what are you gonna do to me?
Well, it's the
What
half-orc tribe, man. You gotta keep it in the family.
Kung buddies, baby.
We're gonna
We'll
be
put it. We'll
That's
put
you
it. We'll
guys.
put it in there for a minute.
I just heard cum buddies, and I know that wasn't the
Oh.
right
Will
word.
Urodin
Nope.
hit 3
Oh,
bullseyes?
buddies.
Of course, come on or no? Remember last time?
No, what happened last time? I think I was drunk.
Only 10 points, Lutz? Not very confident, are you?
Don't worry, I'm betting everything.
You're betting everything?
I don't
13?
know how to bet.
I'm gonna go with
1.3k.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wait, no, it didn't go
1.3K,
through.
that's all you have?
Or I have 3.5, sorry.
Jeez.
Yeah,
Put my
well,
vote in
maybe
real
we
quick and
would have solved the
sway
mystery.
this.
Wow! Man, that went from confidence in your friends to fuck you, you suck real quick. That
That's not
went
even
from
close to half of my
60-40
points.
to 95%.
Dang. No one loves me.
Alright, time's
I
wrapping up.
sway the votes in this
I love
place.
you, but I don't think.
20,
I bet. I bet against you, I
26.6k.
have to.
And that is the poll. So, Urodin, as you relax your shoulders, you get 1 warm-up shot.
Wait, what?
You get 1 warm-up shot. He hasn't shot a bow in like 2 months.
It's fine.
Alright, you get
Do
1
some
warm-up
stretches.
shot. Roll to hit the target.
Alright.
You got some support.
29.
29. Alright. As you go to the
okay.
dummy that you won't be shooting on, you right into the bullseye. Are you feeling confident, or would you like another warm-up shot?
Nope, I'm gonna get right into it.
Alrighty. So, as you all see him sink his
the
first shot into the bullseye, as you step over and release your arrow, roll to hit.
Where's change your bet? Where's change your bet button?
That's 22.
22.
Oh.
As you and you release it right next to the bullseye.
Oh!
You still have 2 shots.
Those
As
lights are
you,
for nat 20s only.
It's for me winning money as well.
you didn't win any money.
Okay.
As you
Yep.
Or
roll to hit.
servant.
Natural 20.
Oh, so 30?
Plus.
Natural
plus.
20.
Plus,
All right.
Oh, it's plus 10, so 30.
30.
oh my god.
So, sure, I'll reward the natural 20. Because the other arrow was right next to it, what you do, you go, I'm not losing this. As you, and you release your arrow, as it hits just to the right of your last one, and as it splits it, part of the first arrow and your second arrow go into the bullseye.
I looked at like
Yeah.
Cthulhu and Jam or and Zio, and I'm like, does that count?
No.
Yes, it does.
God says it does.
Robinson.
So as you pull your third one, knowing that this one's do or die, as you
Natural one.
and you think of Cord,
Frankie's got your back.
You close your eyes and you believe in him. Roll to hit.
Natural 20.
No way.
No way.
I gotta get those lights going.
No.
2 in a row.
All right, so as
Nice.
But I
As
want to
you-
try to see if I can show this on camera.
all right. Oh,
Yeet.
which
oh
one?
yeah, show us down there.
It's gonna
show
be
us
this
down
guy?
there, baby.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
With
we
a
can
little
see it,
rune.
we can see
Oh,
it.
You know
yeah.
what? You know what? Just because 2 natural 20s in a row, Urodin, how would you like to do this?
So
Really
I'm
well.
gonna feeling the charge of cord with this. I close my eyes, and I want to use my arcane shot
Okay.
seeking arrow. I exhale, and it looks like it just goes like that way, but then it comes right back and hits the bullseye.
All right. So as he closes his eyes, and you guys see that he closes his eyes, and you're like, "You're a dick." And then it goes nowhere near the target. You're like, "Yes!" And then whoop, right into the center, almost creating an X of the 2 arrows as it hits the bullseye.
I
Oh, that's amazing.
gather the pot and I go, well, you deserve this.
Nice
You
shooting.
use magic, and that's not fair.
We all use magic.
And then
Speaking of,
just to show off one more, I shoot 1 arrow at the first practice dummy, and I rolled an 18 plus 10, so 28. And I want to hit like inside the arrow that I first shot.
Sure. Easy it up. Pink right into the center of it, splitting it perfectly.
Holy shit!
I was gonna say,
Do
so
that again.
for that, I had 3 rings. I had the bullseye, the outer ring, and the outer ring of that, and it was 15, 20, and 25 for the bullseye. So yeah,
28,000 go to 3 people.
yeah,
I've lost every single bet.
Nice shoot, Stain.
gambling
that may have been
sucks.
the first one that I lost.
Good thing it
I
ain't
still have
real.
like 51.5k left.
Alrighty, so
Sorry.
as that happens, Urodin or Cthulhu, you're like, that's not fair. He used magic, and you look at Zio like, and like Zio's kind of like still just kind of looking over like he really just split an arrow in half after he split another arrow in half that flew through the air magically, and then you look at Zio like, I'm gonna take my aggression out.
I do. So no swords, no shields.
Sure, no magic too, right?
Fair, but maybe I should make it a little fair. And I touch your shoulder. You know, you're really as strong as a bear. You know that? And you get 2d6. Extra, you get 8 hit points added to temporary hit points.
Okay,
Oh, I got 8 temp hit points. Cool.
good, you squishy bitch.
Yeah, I'm gonna need those.
Squishy bean.
Alrighty, so you guys are fighting fisticuffs.
Fisticuffs.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So, as you two, you know what? All right. Hold on.
Urodin, who do you think's gonna win?
Hold on. I'll start another prediction.
Another one. I'm winning my money back this time. I'm winning it back this time.
Are you guys using magic?
This one's hard.
No.
No.
Magic.
They are not using magic. Straight
Yeah.
brawn to brawn.
If I was using magic, I think it would be a little fucked.
I have magic of my
Legion.
own.
Yeah, but I can do 8 hit points, and that's your max.
For the record,
Wait,
yes, if you use
38?
magic, it'll be a little fucked.
I can do 38.
Hey,
That's not even.
Oh, yeah. I could do like 20.
Is Foltus
I want to make
P-H-O-L-T-U-S? Sure.
P-H-O-R-L-O-U-S, yeah.
No. We already had that.
Zio,
fight.
what's your title?
What's my title? The full
Captain.
title?
He's-
Okay,
all of them.
give me a second.
Well, actually, I
Okay,
only have
that's
25
okay.
characters. That's not going to happen.
Theo,
was
Knight
about to say.
Captain, winner of games,
Just
Owner of
Captain
Demon
Zio.
Toys.
holder of demon toys.
All right, we'll put this
Lightbringer.
one on 2 minutes so you guys can really think of it. I have
Hold
who
on,
will win
it's
the
dead.
fight, Zio or Cthulhu? Owner of Demon Toys Zio or Cthulhu, Light of Foltus?
It's also
He's just
The
bare knuckling it.
Lightbringer.
Light
One of the
Bare
games.
knuckle.
You know.
How do you type in how many points you want to?
Custom at the bottom.
Custom.
Yeah, hit
bet
pretty
at the
quick
bottom.
custom.
I'm just imagining Zio
Oh.
pulling out his boomstick at the end. He's like, "Fuck, I'm losing."
Just shoots Cthulhu.
Cold fucking blood.
I don't know. I think Cthulhu's gonna pull out the away victory.
Oh, there it is.
I don't know.
Oh,
Chat's saying
damn.
I've got 100% on this.
Oh,
You gotta be kidding
wow.
Wow.
Really?
9% Cthulhu.
Oh, it's because Jay fucking put 5,000
I was gonna
in.
say because Jay's betting on himself.
All right, you guys got about a minute left. 16K for
It's
Jay.
6-3. It's 6-3.
Jeez.
I won't win a lot
It's
of money.
1 to 10. Whoever wins with, if they vote for Cthulhu, gets 10 times what they bet.
Good.
Yeah, it's fine. Cthulhu's
Okay,
gonna mop the
50K.
floor at Zio.
Well,
Well, that just changed.
now I'm the underdog.
Who did that?
That changed quickly.
What?
Who did that?
Who ruined it?
I think I did.
Yeah. The guy who asked
I
how
was
you
about
make
to
a
say.
custom bet.
I got so
Okay,
many
there you
channel
go.
points.
Zidric wins.
Zitcher twins. Yeah, he would.
June, I would like to bet you. I think an honest 3 gold that Cthulhu will take Zio.
All right,
Thanks for the confidence, June.
you're on. Theo, honestly, if you could use your magic, it'd be a sweep. But you said no magic.
What do you mean? It would be a sweep. I could punch him with a fist and kill him with magic.
He could
I can
shoot you
punch
with
him
a
with a
fireball
fist.
in your face.
And I could shoot him with a guiding bolt. You're wrong.
And he can shoot you with a demon toy.
Zidric
And I
level 20 versus
press roll.
Aerithor level 20
Oh.
special edition Arcane Archives Brawl pay-per-view. Best exhibition match since Mayweather Paul. That isn't hard to do. Alrighty, so as the two of you go into the center,
Take your bet, Urodin.
armor or no armor? What are you guys wearing? Are we just
I think
gonna?
we're still dressed. I
Okay.
think we're
Make it
both
bare
dressed.
bucks.
So as a butler comes up, he's like, "I think it'd be fair if both you had 10 AC."
I like
No.
where his head's at.
What do you
Yeah.
say, Cthulhu?
You
I start
scared?
unstrapping.
Oh.
Man.
All right.
Alright.
What's
So
bad
should
is
have
I don't
been
wear
there.
like an
I would've-
undershirt, so I'm like full
very well.
Bare
bare-chested with tattoos and
So,
scratches all over.
use
For
My
some you
unarmed
guys have-
defense.
I was about to
on
say,
this.
this-
Goddamn.
You guys have never seen Cthulhu shirtless, so he has like a bunch of scar marks all across his chest and cuts and bruises and bleeds.
All
with
right.
A small
So,
a small little symbol that goes like
Cthulhu,
that. all the
what?
way.
Sorry, Cthulhu. What is your Dex mod?
+1.
What's your Con
Minus
mod?
1.
+2.
+2. Your AC is 13. Zia, what's your Dex mod?
Minus 1.
Oh man, what's your Con mod?
0.
Oh man. All right. Well, your armor class is 9.
Oh.
I got it.
And
Yeah.
actually, you
plus
can't.
7.
I don't think you can actually physically go below 10. We're just gonna keep it at 10.
10 and
so there's no
13.
negative. Yeah, because the negative Dex doesn't make any sense. So we're just gonna go 10 to 13.
Well, no, because sorry, in another campaign, Theo's is 9.
Yeah, we'll just keep it at 10. It's 1. You'll be fine. Taname gets so one-sided. Alrighty.
Just have to roll above a
So,
3.
as you both get naked, you still have trow. All right, just no.
Yeah, I have
shirts.
trousers but no shirt.
Naked.
Can the both of you please roll initiative?
Oh fuck,
I use my big boy die.
Oh no, that's fucked.
That's
Can I change my bet?
3.
I was misled.
I
3.
know.
3.
Oh! 4!
Oh my god.
I rolled a 4. My initiative.
I'm gonna win so much in chat, but I'm actually gonna lose gold in game.
Alrighty.
Come on, Zio.
I just want to
Where's
make
your-
sure here.
Best dice.
Yeah,
Best
that's-
dice.
Where's your
Not a
best
lot of them.
dice?
Hey, I can use my clear quartz die too.
Best boy.
Ooh.
Oh shit.
Clear quartz versus
Hasha.
clear quartz.
What?
Alrighty.
Ah.
Let me make sure and something really quick before we do.
Realized I gave him hit points.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty.
Fucking whoops.
Cthulhu, as you kind of get the step up and you start going at him, what do you want to do?
Fucking unarmed swing at him.
Alright.
Like, nice, like, fake jab and then right hook.
Alrighty, roll the hit.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely going to hit. 6 plus 7, so.
Shield.
Oh, fuck you!
Are you. Okay.
I was about to say, there will be magic slung now, motherfucker.
Alright, so rolled. Alright,
5 hit points.
What's your strength mod?
My unarmed attack is plus 5 is 5 damage bludgeoning.
What's your strength mod?
5.
Plus 4.
Yeah,
1
that's
plus
what.
4.
Yeah.
I
So
would have had a 1-up on you there.
as
but-
you clock him and you get him with a quick jab to the face, as you kind of stumble back, Zio, as it goes to your turn, what do you want to do?
I'm gonna take a step back forward and I'm going to place an uppercut right to his gut.
Alrighty, as you trying to go for the midsection, you go for an uppercut. Roll to hit.
Just like smash
An
back
uppercut.
to Ecclesias.
Like, this place is so big. Where the fuck are they?
16 to hit.
16, that'll hit.
Yeah.
So as you hit him right in the gut, what's the damage? What's your strength mod?
4.
4. So you take
3.
4. Yeah, so it's always 1 plus your strength mod. So as you uppercut him into the gut, Cthulhu, the air kind of getting taken out of you. As his hand is still kind of in your sternum, what do you do?
Fucking
Hand is in your
stomach,
sternum.
asshole. And I kind of try to get him to bait in to come closer and then just uppercut him right there.
Alright, roll to hit. Natural 20. Yeah, nice. All right, so as he does 10 damage, as he's trying to feign you in, as you kind of get a little, owner of Demon Toys cocky, and he uppercuts you right to the jaw as you take 10 points of bludgeoning damage. As you stumble back again for the second time, what do you do?
Yeah, recoiling back, I'm going to kind of run at him and then do a roundhouse kick, trying to hit him in the head.
Make an acrobatics check.
Yes!
Oh, this isn't gonna go good at all.
Roundhouse.
Or athletics, whichever is better.
I'll definitely go athletics.
I can taste those
Athletics, 'cause
channel
there's
points.
Minus
right
1
now.
or plus 6, so.
If you succeed on this, you're getting a new nickname.
That's
Patrick Swayze.
22.
All right.
Chuck
It was good enough. So as you jump and you try to do a roundhouse kick, I'll give you advantage on the attack.
Oh, hell yeah, I need that.
Hey, yeah, maybe be super creative with your guys' fight. I'll give you guys presents.
presents.
19 plus 6, so
That's-
25.
So as he does a roundhouse kick, as you were not expecting feet to come into play, as just boom right against the jaw, as a little bit of blood comes out of your mouth, as you take 4 points of damage. Roadhouse.
I know.
Nobody's expecting.
As
I know
Cthulhu,
the
as now
Urodin.
you kind of get stumbled back for the first time, as you're seeing him there now he's kind of giving you a ready to fight. What do you do?
Oh, we're using legs now. And so I gonna get close and I start like trying to like juke him out, kind of like dance with him for a second. I try to kick his feet out from under him and go down.
All right.
Roadhouse.
Take him in a grapple.
All right.
So
to the
like,
floor.
so like, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kick his feet out under him, and I'm gonna give him the people's elbow and go down on his stomach.
All right. Roll the hit. Roll the hit.
Across him,
And
roll the hit.
then Jay, make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay.
Roll the hit. Alrighty. That's an 18.
That'll hit.
17 on the deck save.
17. So as you go to sweep him, he does stay up, but you recognize that he wasn't going to fall as you give him a quick jab and you hit him in the throat. As you take 5 points of bludgeoning damage. You manage to stay up and not go prone in a fist fight, so that's good. So as
The juxtaposition between the beginning of this episode to now.
you gotta have your
Super
fun.
serious Council of Kingdom.
Alrighty, as
Wake your
you
master
get hit in the
with
throat. What do you want to do?
All right.
I can't believe you rolled a saving throw on Dex at 17.
I know it's a -1 too.
Damn.
Jesus
Um.
Christ.
I need to see the rest of this fight.
All right. You just did a quick jab at me.
Like it was more of like a, oh fuck, and it kind of like poked you. In the it wasn't even like a punch. It was like ah!
I was gonna say it's like in the Matrix where he goes for a throat punch and he catches it, but he goes.
Yeah.
That's how I see it too.
Okay. Yeah, if I can, if your hand is kind of still there, I want to
Yes.
grab it,
Okay.
and yeah, kind of swing around and jab at your face.
Okay, roll to hit. So as you grab his hand and try to push it out of the way, and you.
Can I make a dexterity saving throw to grab his fist?
He's not doing
You
anything
don't need
special. He's
to.
just rolling to hit.
12.
12
right?
barely
Oh,
misses.
misses.
So as you go to punch, you don't grapple him, but you go just past his face. As now you're the one with the arm extended next to him. Cthulhu, what do you want to do?
So he has my hand like in a lock right now.
He just kind of moved to the side as he's kind of now set
yeah.
up for you to do the rock bottom.
Yeah, fuck it, we'll do legs. And I kind of like try to knee him in the gut.
Okay, roll to hit.
God, I love having +7s.
Yeah, you guys look up and it's just butlers.
Yeah.
That is a 19.
That'll hit. So as you knee him in the gut, the wind gets taken out of you, Zio. As you take 5 points of bludgeoning damage. Are you still up?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I gave him an
How's he
extra
look?
like 10.
How's he look?
8.
A
Yeah.
little blood.
50.
He coughs out a little bit of blood. As you that one hurt probably the most out of all of them. As
Okay.
you turn. No, are you? Zio, what do you do? At this point, by the way, Ecclesius, you walk in and you see Zio miss a punch and the Cthulhu knee him in the gut.
There's just made contact with.
You can tell though that it's like planned. Like they don't have armor on it. It's not like they're like fuck you.
So this is what fun is, yeah.
I don't know if this will help, but this is what June's gonna do because she doesn't want to lose her gold.
Okay.
I am going to adjust Zio's density and give him advantage on strength checks and strength saving throws.
Make a stealth check.
me?
What are the
Yeah,
components of
right.
that? Verbal, material, and somatic, or verbal, material, and
As an
somatic?
action, you can magically.
No,
alter
the
weight of your
materials.
object.
It'll say materials. What is that?
It's not a spell. It's one of my abilities.
Oh. All right, make a stealth check.
As a human.
Okay.
Yeah,
Can I
human.
fart and give?
I was about to say, before she makes her stealth check, what I was about to do, this fits perfectly for, since I just got like kneed in the gut, I was gonna go kind of drop my shoulder, put it into Cthulhu's stomach, and try and take him down.
Okay, it won't help you for this. Well, it might. What is the thing you what's your stealth check?
8.
Okay.
Oh my god!
You all notice that she goes you see her about to cast something and they kind of look at you, or Cthulhu looks at you. Do you continue, June?
And I look
cast-
at her too.
Yeah, you would notice. Zio does it because he's getting his ass kicked. Do you counterspell? Well, it's not a spell, unfortunately. It's just
Yeah,
ability.
that's why I kind of just said it.
But before the effect happens,
He's a geyser on your mouth.
Cthulhu, you see June about to do something. June, do you continue? Like, Cthulhu gives you a
Fucking
fuck
do it.
you look.
Don't you fucking do it. You've done this to me. I know what you're doing.
Snap decision, do you do it? Jess, do you do it?
It's Saturday.
Yes or no? Right now.
Yeah.
All right. As,
As soon as that happens, can I channel athlete, giving me advantage on strength throws?
sure.
Or saving throws?
Yeah.
There we go.
Alrighty. So,
I just hold my hand out to June, like, all right, pay up.
No,
so this doesn't
no.
get convoluted. Jay, I want you to make a strength check, and then Cade make a strength check. Both of you
So
have
I
advantage.
got the channel divinity off.
Advantage? Okay.
Yeah,
both.
we'll say because it's not a reaction, you have to do it on your next turn. So this one round you won't have advantage. So Jay with advantage. Oh!
Fuck!
Thank God, because mine's garbage. Just a strength check.
Yeah,
Okay, it's 11.
11. He rolled a crit fail. So as he's distracted because June is cheating, you take advantage of it. You kind of sweep his leg as you take him, and you pretty much shit whip his back into the ground. You take 8 points of bludgeoning damage, Cthulhu, as your head rocks to the wooden floor. As there's a little bit of a crack, and you're not sure if it was your head or if it was the ground. Now, technically, you guys are grappled. So give me 1 second to make sure something.
Jude's a cunt.
Grapple creature speed becomes 0. Okay, but if the condition ends if the grappler is incapacitated. Condition also ends if the effect remove the grapple
that's my
each.
face.
Alrighty, so on your turn, Cthulhu, you are still grappled, so you're unable to hit him or anything. You can get your Divinity off, so you'll get advantage on strength checks. But if you want to break this wrestling you guys are doing, you guys got to make.
Is he like chokeholded me?
No, he like kind of like sweeped your legs as he grabbed your waist and shit whipped you in the ground. So if you want to get out of this, Cthulhu, you need to make a strength check versus his, and you both get advantage.
Can I make it cool?
Describe what you're trying.
So like he'll have me like basically bumfucked into the ground, and I'm gonna try to.
I'm gonna bumfuck you into the ground.
Well, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna like use the strength, and this is how I'm gonna do the breaking the grapple. But I'm gonna try to grab his like trousers and like yeet him over my head as best as I can, just try to get him the fuck off me.
So as you try to yeet him over, both of you make strength checks. You both have advantage. So
Back in my day, that was called a suplex.
Now it's called yeeting them.
now it's yeeting him. Apparently
okay.
bum fucking into the ground.
It's funny because I have a dice that's got yeet and fuck on it for natural 1, natural 20, and I'm rolling that die, but I only got a 19.
19.
I got a 19.
He had a 24. So
Plus-
you.
Well,
so-
that's strength check.
Yeah.
That's 22.
Oh, just barely. So you, Cthulhu, because your guys' grapples were so close, you get him off you. As you go to lift, he kind of grabs onto you a little harder as you're able to roll him off as you're both prone at this point. Not grappled anymore. But
Bonus action, put my foot on his chest.
well, you're both on the ground, but
Damn
if
it.
you stand up and you kind of put your foot on his chest. He's not grappled though. So Zio, what do you want to do?
I make melee attacks advantage against prone targets.
You're prone.
Correct?
You're prone.
I didn't know if that mattered or not.
No, yeah, you're prone. You can just
And I'm
use
also up at
half
this
your movement to stand, but you can stand for free because you guys are like running.
Well, I want to stand up and.
So you kind of brush his leg off, which kind of sends you off kilter, but then you take your form back, Cthulhu. What do you do when you stand?
I want to do almost a like superhero landing,
On his face.
but don't land. Like don't put my other hand to like. I'm not holding the ground to land. I'm punching Cthulhu in the face to land.
Cthulhu's standing. Cthulhu's standing.
Oh, I thought
No.
we were
he
both.
stood. You stood. I was gonna say
Gotcha.
what? You super. What? All right. So
I thought he
he's
was
standing.
on
You're
the ground.
standing.
And then I pushed him down.
All right. He's standing and you're
happens, yeah.
standing. What would you like to do?
Okay. I'm just going to try and Spartan kick him in the chest and push him away, I suppose. I guess just a kick. Spartan kick.
Roll it.
Not advantage, correct?
No.
I don't think that would be strength.
Correct? No advantage?
No advantage. No.
Okay. Didn't think so, just making sure. Natural 1.
Oh, all right. So as you
Can I
go to
grab it?
Spartan kick, he grabs your leg and sweeps you to the ground, and you. Let me roll a d4.
Wait, you should have broke his knee so that he just kicked himself in his face.
Yeah.
You take 3 points of bludgeoning damage as you are now prone, Zio.
3?
Yeah, I could have made it 5, but I rolled a d4 instead of giving him his full damage. All right. As you're Cthulhu, he is on the ground. You rock bottoming him.
He pulls elbow, baby.
Roll the hit with advantage.
For the millions!
Oh yeah.
That's 9 plus 7.
Arcanites
So
8, 16. As you go right on his chest, as the wind gets knocked out of you again, and you're just like, please, my ribs. As you take 5
can I-
points of bludgeoning damage.
For the movie, can I just get up? Or not?
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
So Zio, as he and you feel every breath that you are about to take leave you at once, and you now it's your turn as you stand back up.
Yeah, stand back up,
How you feeling, big
kind
boy?
of teetering.
I didn't hear no bell.
Yeah. And yeah, I'm just gonna try and jab him in the face because
All right,
that's
roll to
about
hit.
as much as I can think of right now. Oh yeah, that's going to hit. 13.
Barely.
No.
As
Oh yeah.
yeah. As you, I didn't hear no bell, and you jab him in the face, and he takes 4 bludgeoning damage right to the nose. You're like, that would actually like caught you off guard. You're like, oh.
What do you want to do?
I use that to
What
smell.
do you want to do?
What do you like to do? What would you like to do, Cthulhu?
Ah, fuck. And then I just kind of go in for like I do a stupid pose, and I'm like, I like do the fucking. And then
Stop
if he
trying to hit
doesn't
me and
have
hit
force,
me.
Yeah.
I just go in for it.
All right,
to the
sounds
stomach.
good. Roll to hit.
17.
17 hits. As you take 5 bludgeoning damage, as he kind of hits you in the chest. You still up?
Yeah.
All right. Where is Duo?
Come on,
he
see,
wouldn't.
you got this. Come on.
I like
He
how
would've
Nick
been
moves his mic and
in-
just.
He would have been in his pocket dimension for
Okay.
the meeting and all that, so
right,
I
no
wouldn't
problem.
have
Still
something
there.
back.
So
He's
as
eating orange
he
slices.
hits you in the chest again, you're like the ribs. What do you want to do?
I would like to use my bonus action to use my second wind ability.
Okay. So it's technically not magic. So as he's like, "Ugh," roll a d10.
Fucking kidding me. I get 2 HP.
All
Oh wait,
right.
plus 5.
Okay.
So that's
All right, you get 7. Watch the
Okay.
screams.
I'm sorry.
So as you like let out a roar, kind of similar to Alar going into a rage, and you run at him. What do you want to do?
I will do a left hook to the side of his head, and then also burn my action surge to do a right jab in his face as well.
All right, so rah, and then so roll 2 attacks.
This motherfucker don't miss.
He don't miss.
Nah, he's good.
That was cocked. I was about to say it was a natural one. It's not like it helps. I rolled a 4, so that's not gonna hit.
So as your left hook misses, as he kind of like backs up because he's like, "Why are you screaming like this? This isn't you." As you go with the right jab.
What was it? I need to go back up. That's a 14.
All right, so as you dodge out of the way, the left hook, as you're kind of unbalanced on, he hits you in the left eye with the right jab. As you as you step back, what do you want to do, Cthulhu?
I don't need magic.
Well, those aren't
I kinda-
magic. You wouldn't have technically known that he did anything, but
There.
June definitely cheated.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to, not Cobra Kai, but I'm gonna try to get close to him, wrap my leg around his, push him down, and go for a punch.
Okay, you kind of like whip him. All right.
Yeah.
So
Who
you
looks
can
the most beat up right now?
Zio. So you have a choice here. You can kind of just push him to the ground and try to make him prone, or you can do like a punch. Your choice. I won't let you do both. What?
I was just seeing if I had anything that makes me do both. That's inherent. And I'll just punch him.
All right. So as you
I'll try
kind
to,
of
like,
put your
punch
leg
him
behind
down.
him and you try to like punch him in his chest so he stumbles back. Roll to hit.
Alright, that's a dirty 20.
That'll hit. All right. As you get punched in the chest, you take 5 points of bludgeoning damage as you stumble back like 5 feet.
I keep forgetting about savage attacks. When that crit, it was supposed to be another die.
You gotta remember it next. Well, it's no die, so you just
It'd be
double the
50.
damage.
Alright.
If you're making an attack, yeah. But either way, you've been kicking his ass. So, Zio, as you stumble back like 10 feet, as you finally catch your footing, what would you like to do? Either of you can stop this fight whenever you like.
I'm feeling great.
Turn to Ecclesias.
I'm holding my fist up to my face, And I'm like, I got one more in me. And I'm just going to, this time try and do a right hook.
All
I
right,
kind of
you
walk
try to-
towards him. Like, I'm not letting him, like, get a bunch of space. I'm, like, kind of going towards him.
You lazily right hook, roll to hit.
My tail's like bobbing and weaving like we're both watching.
Oh,
Look at Palpatine's
11.
like,
As you're, and you miss. Cthulhu, how do you capitalize?
Are we next to a wall?
No.
Damn it!
Sorry, you're in the middle of a
It's a
huge
big
room.
ass room.
Yeah.
is the ceiling closer than the wall?
Yeah, like, how tall is the ceiling, actually?
You're not near
Can
any
I, like,
surfaces.
grab up and then, like, monkey kick
No,
him in the
it's
face?
it's a mansion. It's not low-hanging ceilings.
Probably
Damn it.
12, 14 feet.
All right. So what do you want to do?
The athlete of the... with
You
my
can't
athlete,
grab
I
the
can
ceiling.
jump- I
Make
can
him
jump
punch himself
twice.
out.
It's like 30 feet.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do
Stop hitting
is I'm
yourself,
gonna
stop
kind of
hitting
like, I'm gonna like get into the crane pose. And then I'm just gonna go in for like another gut shot.
yourself. All right, roll to hit.
Is it another natural 20?
Another
Oh,
natural
God.
20. As Zio, I'm assuming this is putting you out, right?
Yeah.
All right. So as you go to the crane kick, but then you drop your leg and you punch him in the gut as like Vegeta just punch to the stomach as both of your arms hold your gut as you drop to your knees. As Cthulhu, you're standing over him, victorious. As Cthulhu or Zio, it is hard for you to get your breath back.
How much gold did I bet you, Urodin? Here you go.
You should have hit it sooner because you
used that.
cheated.
I
How
did
did
no
I
such
cheat?
thing. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, I saw what you did
You didn't see anything.
last summer.
You've done it to me. You did cheat. What do you mean?
So what was this about?
False.
No, this is
June's a
just
dirty cheater,
good fun.
and my nose is fucking broken.
Zio, what are you doing?
Am I thought I was unconscious.
Mm-mm.
I go
Okay.
and
No,
I
I doubt
help
you
up.
guys would fight to
not to death.
loss of consciousness.
Okay.
So
I'll
yeah,
give
you're
myself
just
a
like
180.
you're just like Vegeta's on the ground. That last one really hit
Like a Skyrim
under your ribs
NPC,
into
just-
your lungs.
I'll I'll try and pick myself up off the floor. And I'll walk over to Cthulhu. And I'll give him like the warrior's handshake.
That's so fucking great.
Ah, my nose. Ah, you really had to go for the nose.
I mean, you did the same.
I didn't hit you in the fucking nose. I hit you in the cheek.
Dang,
You can't
That's
smell
good.
with them cheeks.
I got 34,000 points.
So
Well, that was a good fight, Cthulhu.
Yeah, good one, mate.
That
Ah.
fucking hurt.
Yeah. It was fun.
Yeah, I
Only if Ayla wasn't a bitch.
well, I mean, either way, brought back some good memories.
It's fucking good on you.
that was lost on me. That is very true. Speaking of Alar, was there anything you wanted to do when you went to bed, or you just pretty tuckered out? You're muted.
So, there's actually two things I wanted to do. I'm assuming there's a butler in my room.
There is not,
Or-
but you could find one.
I'm assuming there's a butler.
You can get a
fucking
butler.
somewhere
They're just
around.
there's not that many of them, but you find a butler.
There are though.
It's not like the Polar Express when they were serving hot chocolate. They all just come out of the fucking woodwork.
That's what I picture. That's
Yeah, there's a
exactly
So-
what I
whole
picture.
butler
As you procure a butler, what would you like?
Go pick one.
Go grab some buds.
cover up my vent so you can't hear that.
Your butt?
Get some butts.
I would ask for some, because I don't think I have any, parchment and something to write on that parchment with, or should I say something to draw on that parchment with? It doesn't
Sure.
have to be expensive paper.
No,
just
they get
whatever
you
I have.
something.
And then I would also ask to see if there's armor available.
Armor? Like what kind
Mhm.
of armor?
So I'm going to presume that Alar does. I know what I want, but I'm going to presume that Alar doesn't know too much about armor. Or, well, what do you like?
What are
at
you
this
looking
point,
to do, my friend?
I'm looking to get what was it? There's a certain type of breastplate in particular is what I desire.
Okay.
However, I will also settle for chain mail.
Yeah.
Or chain shirt, I think, is the one that doesn't.
They
have.
tell you that Lord Zio used to use chainmail. I'm sure I can procure one of his old sets.
Would it fit me?
Probably not, no.
Alright, well...
There are some very talented smiths in town that maybe I'll help you out in the morning.
I think I will go to them in the morning then. Thank you.
You're welcome. Was there anything else there?
Then in my room, what I would do is I would be drawing. First thing I'm going to draw is going to be the mountains of home.
I like
Is
that.
this your way of writing letters? Just curious.
Don't ruin the moment. Shut the fuck up, Zio.
Alrighty, so as to not break it, as
That
you
means
start drawing the mountains that remind you of home, as you can kind of see an overlook of the mountain range out your window. It takes you a bit of time, you find it relaxing. As you get some of the nuances of the peaks, it's still a little crude, but it's familiar and it's peaceful.
All right. Once I'm not sure if Alar would know when to stop, but whenever it is late enough where I'm like, all right, I gotta stop because it's getting late, I'm going to then simply go to bed.
Very well. The rest of the collective. As the fights wind down, the wounds healed, you all start to get tired. Is there any quick things you'd like to do before you turn in for the night?
Zio, you
No.
want to go have a drink?
Uh,
I think it's well deserved. Fucking
yeah, I
fucking
think
maniac. What was all that
think I
fucking
would.
screaming?
What
kind of fucking shit did you do?
sometimes I can push myself to be a bit quicker on my feet.
Nelson can
Sure,
help.
you've seen me do it in combat once or twice,
To
but
be honest, Zio, I'm never with you when we fight. I always see you on the other fucking side.
that's true. I like to hang back by June and Ecclesius if I can and make sure that nothing gets too close to them.
Yeah, we kind of go off in parties. Alar does his own fucking thing. Me and Urodin kind of have a weird orc thing. And then everyone else is kind of around you.
Yeah, look at Urodin.
Well,
We
you
fight
are
together.
definitely quite hardy.
Yeah, not my fucking nose, though. God,
Sorry.
it fucking hurts.
Yeah, my entire body kind of hurts.
I tried to help.
If you don't mind giving me a minute, I'd like to see if my mother made it back and
Yeah,
to see if I can help you.
You ask one of the maids or butlers if she returned, and they inform you that she has, and she's turned in for the night. Same with your father.
Okay. Well, never mind then. Yes. Let's,
do you have something other than wine?
if you wanted to make a small night of it, I could take you to a little bit of a fancier place. Maybe not as fancy as here, but a fancier establishment.
I mean, shit. I kind of want to talk to you a little bit more about this shit, so yeah.
Should we invite the others that haven't turned in yet?
You would know, by the way, for that lodge, it is not one that is open 24 hours a day. It is not like a normal tavern. It's more of like a
Gotcha.
more of like a golf club. Not golf club, you know what I
Okay.
mean. I was gonna say gentleman's club, but that's something completely different. Country club, thank you. That's the word I was looking for.
Oh, wrong one.
That's what
Well-
Urodin's doing for money.
You're back.
If you would like, you probably could procure something in your own home and relax with Cthulhu if you'd like.
Yeah.
Is bourbon a thing back then?
Why don't I take you to the private courtyard?
Yeah.
All right.
And then I'll ask a maid or butler, whichever I come upon first, for a glass of ale, and then I'll look over to Cthulhu. What did you want to drink?
Fucking anything other than wine that's not sweet. Something a little bitter, or just hard tasting.
So they managed to procure a stale ale for Cthulhu and something a little sweeter for your rich ass. As you two go to the private courtyard, Urodin and Ecclesias, are you doing anything or just turning in for the night?
I am gonna be sneaky.
And follow them?
No, I want to spy on Zeo's parents.
How do you? Okay.
So you will try to attempt to find them, but
No,
very
just
well.
do it.
Oh, yeah.
Thought we
Very
were
well.
a collective.
There's
We're like a
Ecclesias.
roughly, and I say roughly, 20,000 butlers in this mansion.
Don't worry about it.
Ecclesias?
Everybody just kind of went to do their own things. I was going
still
to. June, I did receive a word from my master Vale, but since we have all gone and poofed off, we can talk about it in the morning. I'm pretty tired, so.
All right.
All right.
So, as Cthulhu and Urodin, or Cthulhu and Zeo, as you enjoy some alone time, as you enjoy the courtyard, was there any substantial talk, or did you guys just want to kind of relax and enjoy the night and talk with each other? Just wind down the night?
Nah, I think it's just more of like two brothers that just went at it.
No
having a
problem.
drink.
Yeah, I would have also invited June and Ecclesias if they wanted to come. If they were, like, when we were leaving and they were, still there, I didn't know if they had taken off or not, so. But if you guys were still there and you guys wanted to join.
I would have said that, thanks, but no, you guys go have your drink.
Go have your fun.
I'm still shirtless. I did not put my breastplate on still.
As everybody winds down, your brother and camaraderie had, as the two of you eventually turn in. Ecclesias and June, you eventually find your rooms. Urodin, please make an investigation check with disadvantage.
Well, I was gonna pretend to go to bed, and on my way, if I see a butler, I was gonna say, "Where's the Lord and Lady chambers, if you don't mind?"
They are on the 3rd floor, but they have turned in for the night.
Oh, okay, thank you. And then I will. Is there a balcony in my room that I can slip out of, or no?
No, there's actually pretty distinct no balconies around the entire outside, except for the very front of the building.
Shoot.
Oh, cute.
I want to attempt to sneakily make my way to the 3rd floor, but if I get caught, then I'll say I'm lost.
Okay. So make a stealth check with disadvantage. Before I'll give you the choice. Getting up there, you notice that it is still pretty busy enough where the chances of you getting caught are pretty high. So it's up to you if you would like to. If you do want to, just disadvantage.
Okay. Yeah, I'm still gonna go for it, but
okay.
That's bad.
Sneaking.
That's bad.
Yeah, 15.
15. Yeah, considering it's still bright light in here, one of them, as you're kind of sneaking around, you don't necessarily get caught. You do find where the Lord Lady's chambers are, but you know that there's going to be watching eyes.
All right. I'm gonna try to make a note of it, and then I will head back to my own chamber.
All right. Something that you do pick up on, though. As you're returning back to bed, you hear a voice speaking in one of the rooms. Actually, hold on, before I tell you this, let me make sure. Where do I got you all stationed? there. Yeah, it makes sense for Urodin. All right.
Am
As
I
you walk
dying
past,
again?
no, Urodin, you hear a voice from inside one of the rooms. You know it to not be one of your comrades, but you recognize the voice. It is Kane's. You hear him having a discussion with someone. Do you peer into the conversation or continue to bed?
I absolutely peer in.
Make a investigation check and make a stealth check first.
That is a 25.
Nice. Maybe needed that upstairs, but
Yeah,
and now
only.
This is more
you
important.
as you stealth up to it, you start listening, and you come into the conversation which you feel to be at the tail end, as you hear Kane say, "No, Master, I don't believe so. I think he is too young. I do not feel it right to take him on this perilous journey, and he's turned me down once before. I think that this task need be done on my own, and I do not wish to trouble the boy. Plus, I think that his group he is with will be nosy." As you can tell that there's some conversation happening, but you can't hear the other side. Very well. Soon, but not now.
Can
Goodbye.
I catch like any tone or anything of the other voice?
No, you sense it's whoever they're talking to is not in the room.
Oh, like mental type.
Mental, magical, message, something. So
I take my information and I'm like, "Huh." And then I go to bed.
Very well. So,
Oh my god.
as all of you bunk down for the night, you may have to turn rhythm up to hear this, but as you all bunk down for the night, sleep finds you quickly, but restlessness throughout the night. Each of you have the same dream, unknowing at this point that you all are having it, but each of you have the same dream. Firstly, you note in the distance, as you seem to be far away, in a blackened abyss, a singular, warm, yellowed spotlight that is surrounding a figure who is sitting on a stool with a sword or some weapon in hand, sharpening it. You recognize this man. You recognize him to be Cade, the smith that made both the Goliath and Alar's weapon. As you notice him working on it, and you hear a tune, or words being spoken, with rhythm and with a rhyme. You cannot make out the words, but you can tell he is speaking of the Raven Queen. As that vision fades, as all of you, coming up from below what seems to be a murky black ichor, as you come out, as you see a enlarged Vovek the Bestowed, as smoke surrounds the bottom half of him, as his arms swell out, as these large tendrils of smoke solidify into solid rods as they slam into the ichor below you, as it swallows all of you whole. As the rest of your sleep goes dark, the unease of your sleep does not fade, but your minds go blank for the remainder of the night before you awake at morning. And that is where we're going to end this session for the week.
Now,
Motherfucker leveled up.
Side question, because this is important. Do I heal my stuff after that rest?
Heal your stuff?
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah,
that's
'cause
all
I'm
healed.
still
Yep, that's all.
17, yeah.
That's all.
was
It's all
gonna ask
saved
for
up. There's a lot of swings in that episode.
Yeah.
And for the chat, the song that you hear playing right now and at the end there was the newly released Farewell to the Kind song, an ode to Sven the Kind, that Jeremy, our lovely music gremlin, has made. It's a very lovely piece, and it makes all of us cry every time we hear it. I felt it was just the right beat to hit, especially since if everybody here hasn't given it a full listen through, this would be the first time. But I do have some things to thank. I'm going to butcher this. Mirarene? M-I-R-A-R-E-N-E. Marine. We'll go with that. Thank you so much for the follow. Shay, thank you for the 200 bits. I'm sorry that Zeta didn't win. Thank you for your bits. And you got a 1,000-bit badge, which is awesome. And then most recently, load last save, which is really applicable to this session. Thank you for the follow.
Oh my god, yeah.
I'm glad you're enjoying the show.
Amazing.
Yeah, that is kind of amazing.
Wait, what was it again?
Load last save.
Load last save.
I feel like somebody just made an account tonight.
Yeah.
Right?
There's no way that's a
Quick, get that name.
Yeah. Snag it.
At least they liked us for their for credit.
Yeah, that's true.
All right.
So I will say,
Thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you everybody that's followed. This was an amazing session. I had a lot of fun. I hope you all enjoyed watching. We are going to be rating someone today, a new channel, someone who has a few less viewers than us. Hopefully we can give them some love and bump those up a little bit, make their day. So I will be putting the raid in here. So make sure you go in there. And for the first time in a while, make sure you hit them with a hashtag SporkArmy whenever we do start the raid. And put those sporks in chat.
Created.
Make sure everybody joins in on that raid.
Yeah, that account was created a week ago, so it's not just a...
Oh, there we go.
Well, let's get them.
Nice.
I will say we will be... The next you'll see from us is going to be on Tuesday for the show Ink and Well. We liked it enough, and it's going to be on Tuesday. Ink and Well, it will be hosted by Nick and a maybe returning co-host or a new person's to be on with him. Wednesday we'll be exploring the archives where we get to discuss all things that happen in this chapter and beyond. And then Friday will be the continuation of this story and to see where these wicked dreams take the crew. So we will see you over in the other chat. If we don't see you there, we'll see you on Tuesday, hopefully, for the second episode of the Ink and Well. Take care, everybody. Thank you for all the follows and bits and subscriptions. Thank you for everybody that stays here with us for all of our shenanigans. Much love, everybody. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.